Good morning, everybody. What is up, everybody? It is January. It's Friday, January the 5th of 2024. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2024. I am FioriousNation of YouTube.com. This is the 2023 Furious Nation Year-End Award Show that was supposed to be taking place last week, but moved to the next week. But hey, better late than never. And hey, this may be a better time slot for during the word show anyways, welcome to Furious Nation. Happy to be here to be a part of the year-end award show to recap the year of WWE for 2023, its moments, match of the year, wrestler of the year, shocker of the year, etc. So with all that being said, I got two people joining me here today to discuss the year-end award show. One has been here since day one, since the start of this whole channel and the year-end award show. He's pretty much been with me since day one. Great guy. You've obviously watched him in the Furious Nation year-end award show last year, and then the first one in 2020. And there was no one in 2021, and there was no year-end award show in 2021 because, let's be real, the year of 2021 for WWE sucked. In my opinion, it did, and those are facts. But anyway, this guy's been here with me since day one, with not only with the Furious Nation YouTube channel as a whole for the most part, but also the year-end award show as well. He's a great dude. Let me bring him in here. Adam Carl. How you doing, Adam?
What is up, my friend?
It's well, it's been a while also since you've been in here, but it's great to be here. Great duo.
I've been at work, really. Work is basically kicking my ass every day, it seems. I like to do more of these shows eventually. Yeah. I like to do more videos eventually.
Absolutely, and it'd be great to have you for some people just like a two-man thing with the shows and such. It would be great. It would be really, really great. And also we're kicking my ass too. And actually, a New Year's resolution, I would probably say New Year's resolution. I've been saying about this for weeks before 2024 even hit. I really want to get, and I have not done a video on here for Furious Nation on YouTube since April with the night one review of the 2023 WWE draft with Matt Doherty, who was going to be on here last week but had family stuff, and he won't be on here today, unfortunately, because of work. So I'm sure he'll be watching when he gets the chance, but being here live, he won't be able to be in here, unfortunately. Speaking of him, I will be seeing him and his older brother, John Doherty, for the Royal Rumble and Tropicana Field in Tampa live. Yes, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. The Royal Rumble ended this month, Tampa, Florida, Tropicana Field. My first ever live attending the Royal Rumble. I will be there live. Should be exciting with Triple H booking the Rumble. You got the men's and women's Royal Rumbles. I'm excited for that. Got Logan Paul and Roman Reigns. You got Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens potentially. Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton or AJ Styles potentially. It's looking like to be a great show. I'm excited for it. I'll also be in Philly with Anthony. Well, actually, third guy in here. Let me bring him in here, making his Furious Nation year-end awards debut. It's not his first time on Furious Nation because we previewed WrestleMania 38, night 1 and night 2, but he's making his debut in the year-end awards show. Let's bring him in here as well. Mr. Anthony Pagani. How are we doing, Anthony?
Doing good, guys. My first time here. Kind of nervous, but I think I'll get over it.
Well, we don't bite. We don't bite, and we'll get through this, but we don't bite. You need help? Hey, we're not here to leave you high and dry. We got your backs. We both got your back.
Well, that's great news.
Absolutely, and yes. So as I said, the Royal Rumble live in Tampa, I will be there. No Omos, by the way, Adam. I know you're going to say you're going to pay a ticket to see Omos. I doubt he'll be there. But anyways,
yes, he will.
That guy has no character, Omos.
When I went to the Raw in Albany, November 2022, Omos was there live. I sat there falling asleep, the video. And Adam Carl's like, remember, this is what you paid a ticket to go see Omos. And I told him, no, I don't like Omos. I don't like boring giants.
Yes, you do.
No,
he's a Nigerian giant. You watched him.
No, that's Braun Strowman. He's the much better giant, or super heavyweight, I should say.
Well, that's
But
Max, at least.
yeah, it's true. But Omos, the Black Great Khali, does it to and choke slam. Yeah, that's a discussion for another time. But joking aside, the Royal Rumble, I will be there live with John and Matt Doherty, Tropicana Field at the end of this month. I'm excited for it. Never been to a Rumble live, so that should be pretty good. Come at the end of this month on January the 27th. Also, this April for WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, this guy right here, Anthony, and me will also be there for WrestleMania 40 night one and night number two. That's also looking to be a big show, and especially the first WrestleMania under Endeavor since WWE was sold, since the WWE was purchased or sold to Endeavor last September, in September of 2023 by Ari Emanuel, who also owns the UFC. Now he owns WWE. Um, so, and as I said moments ago, a New Year's resolution of mine, I would love to get. I've not done like I said, I've not done a YouTube video on here for FioriousNation on YouTube since April when Matt Doherty and I previewed night one of the 2023 WWE draft, and I've not done a video on here since then. New Year's resolution, I'd love to really eventually, I'd love to get this channel back up and going with the new year. Day one Raw, to review that. I did watch a show. I thought it was a good show. The first WWE show of 2024 and the first Raw 2024. I thought Triple H did a very good job. We got some good stuff on there with The Rock, Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, Ivy Nile, Rhea Ripley, and then Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. It was a good show. But I may actually, after this video ends, either today or tomorrow, I would love to put an update video. I wanted to do it before this video, but shit got in the way with work. But however, despite me with my work schedule, working 7 to 3, 35 days a week full time, I will say this. If it's not today, then tomorrow I will post a update video regarding Furious Nation of where I want to do, what I want to do for the channel, as far as like review videos, what will be, and just not incorporate like WWE and AEW into a whole one thing, but slowly incorporate like baby steps. But as far as that goes, but more details on that video either today or tomorrow. If it's today, it would be before SmackDown. Definitely watching SmackDown News Revolution tonight. That's also looking like to be a good show. Thinking about reviewing that as well. But details on all that in the update video on the channel going forward, either today or tomorrow. If not today, then tomorrow. So look out for that. Got some stuff to say on that. Before we begin, I was thinking about this for the show, but I want to say this. As you all know, Bray Wyatt sadly passed away at the age of 36 on August 24th of 2023. Gone way too soon, and I want to say this with this. I will say this right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen. I've decided to do 10 bells, 10 bell or second salute. So as we all put our heads down and just take a moment with the unfortunate passing of Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt. And his fireflies all in here. Bray Wyatt, man. I will say a great wrestler. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in the Hall of Fame this year in Philly for WrestleMania 40. I really think he should. A great genius and great creative genius and a great character, a good wrestler. He just got it. Like just a smart guy when it comes to pro wrestling, knows his shit. He's been in he's grown up in the business with his father, the IRS Mike Rotunda, and his father, and then his brother being Bo Rotunda, Bo Dallas. And gone at 36. He left us way too soon. Talk about a guy who Triple H just brought back in late 2022 at Extreme Rules in 2022. That return they done it perfect. And the feud with LA Knight at the 2023 and going into a light Mountain Dew pitch black match of the 2023 Royal Rumble in San Antonio, where Bray Wyatt defeated LA Knight. And then Bray getting sick and had a illness, and then he was ready to come back, and WWE was going to clear him, and they had big plans for him. He was going to be back in a big time thing with big things going on. He was going to be in a big program. He was going to be a top star in the company, and they had plans. WWE doctors were going to clear him, and then you hear August 24th of 2023. You hear the very, very sad news of Bray sadly passing away, where Triple H went on X, formerly known as Twitter. Triple H went on X and saying that he got a call from the IRS Mike Rotunda saying that Wyndham Rotunda Bray Wyatt sadly passed at age 36. And I'll be honest with you, man. Something I didn't expect, and I gotta be completely real with you guys, and this is coming from Nick Fioria, Furious Nation. This is coming from the heart. It's been over 4 months, and this is like you say of like with death, like with some deaths, they just don't seem or feel real. This one doesn't feel real. Over 4 months of Bray sadly gone and sadly no longer with us, and it's just like with Brody Lee, John Hubert, Luke Harper back in the end of 2020. Like me and Adam and DJ Storm said on the 2020 Furious Nation Year End Award show, left us way too soon and so young when Brody Lee died at 41. Now Bray went 36, and it doesn't feel real or seem real at all. Guys, I want to get your thoughts on that. I'll start with you, Anthony.
I think it was definitely hard hitting news, especially like people who are close, like Bray Wyatt fans. I get their emotions, and like I say, like death is out there, and you just gotta keep your loved ones close and keep those friends close.
Absolutely. Never ever take life for granted. This should
Yeah.
tell people something, life is too short. You never know who's gonna go. Tell like the people you love, the people you're good friends with and close to, tell them you love them, tell them you care about them and you're there for them. And never ever treat every day like it's your last, because you never know. And
Cherish every day you have with your loved ones.
like
Tell them that
absolutely
you love them.
life is something to be cherished about. Never ever take it for granted. Never, because you just never know. If you could be going tomorrow, you just don't know. And gone at 36, which is not old at all. I think it's the same age that Umaga when he sadly passed at the end of 09 in the same condition, and Bray died of a heart attack with when he stopped using a defibrillator. He had a heart attack. He sadly went. And I feel really bad for those close to Bray, especially his wife and his kids. His wife JoJo and his kids and his children. And also Eric Rowan of the Wyatt family and Braun Strowman of the Wyatt family. Also his father and his brother Bo. And also close with Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, who just came back. And Orton going through so much, and now he's back. Give him a lot of credit, man. Because Orton was with the Wyatt family at the end of 2016, and he was pretty much close to Bray. And Orton and Bray in common both grew up in the business, with the Ortons grown up in the wrestling business, and Randy Orton's grandfather and father, who's Hall of Famer Cowboy Bob Orton Jr. And then Bray Wyatt growing up, coming from a pro wrestling family, growing up in and around the business, sleeping, and breathing pro wrestling, knowing the ins and outs of the business. And those are the mostly people I feel bad for, and I can only imagine what they're going through.
All my love and strength go out to them.
And then the wrestlers in the back and the boys and girls in the locker room in WWE, AEW, who were touched by Bray, very close to Bray, who I've not with internet, with watching wrestling for over 15 years, I've not heard one bad thing about Bray Wyatt. Not one bad thing about Wyndham Rotunda. A wrestler needed help, they go right to Bray. He'd be like the Godfather. Bray would go out of his way. I remember watching a X video where Becky Lynch, it was I think she wrestled Zoe Stark. This was the Raw after
This
Bray
was the
Wyatt.
Falls Count Anywhere match that they had. The Raw before Payback. Oh no, right, Payback. Yeah.
And Becky Lynch is
the
on
Raw
the
before Payback.
crate, and Becky Lynch is holding a Wyndham armband that for Wyndham for Bray Wyatt, and Becky Lynch is holding it up, and you see her just crying her eyes out. And I'd be lying to you if I told you that I didn't cry. And Becky Lynch just crying her eyes out. I would be lying to you if I told you that I didn't cry too. I'd be lying to you guys if I told you watching that I didn't cry my eyes out too watching it. And then it was after Raw went off the air, that specific Raw episode, Becky Lynch told a story where, it was when Becky Lynch was SmackDown Women's Champion at the end of 2016, going into the Alexa Bliss tables match at TLC 2016. It was the first ever women's tables match, and Becky Lynch didn't know how to put anyone through a table yet. And the whole afternoon, Bray went out of his way, took the whole afternoon to teach Becky Lynch how to put opponent through a table. And Becky went right to Wyndham, and Wyndham taught her, and Wyndham took the whole afternoon. Becky Lynch said herself, Bray went out of his way, took the whole afternoon to help Becky Lynch out. That's the kind of person and guy Bray Wyatt was. Very selfless, was never in it for himself, cared for the business, and made everyone else around him good and helped everyone else around him. He genuinely cared.
There's a story as well with there's also a story with Braun Strowman when he was called up to the main roster. He did not have enough money, and then Bray, he went out of his way to pay him food. He paid for his hotel rooms.
Yeah, help him pay rent until Braun was able to get up his feet and able to do it on his own.
I mean, Bray Wyatt, he was there for everyone. He was always down to earth.
Absolutely. And not just and you think of the Wyatt family, the group, it was actually a family of brothers. It was. That wasn't just a character gimmick. That was what it really was, a family of Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, Bray Wyatt, and Braun Strowman. And I can only imagine Rowan and Strowman, especially them, I can only imagine what they're going through. And then Luke Harper sadly passing. And it was after Brody Lee sadly passed, Bray went on Instagram saying it was kind of symbolic. Bray saying to Luke, hey, save a spot up there for me.
I'm sure they're having kick-ass matches together in heaven.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Wrestling, even the greats that Bray's never wrestled, like Eddie Guerrero, Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior, just to name a few.
I think, and also also Owen Hart.
Yeah, Owen Hart. Owen Hart's another guy. Davey Boy Smith.
Bray and Brody were going to be having those matches with the Legion of Doom up there.
Yeah, and with Mean Gene Okerlund as the interviewer. And commentators.
Gorilla Monsoon. I think what might get Wyatt family versus the Hart Dynasty up there.
Well, the Tyson Kidd and David Hart Smith are still alive in Italian. Yeah. But Bret Hart's still alive. Jin the Anvil Neidhart, definitely up there. Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan as commentators, absolutely. Randy Savage is another guy. Yokozuna, Umaga. Those guys. And you mentioned Anthony, very hard hitting. I would not disagree with you. This is probably the most hard. Actually, it is the most hard-hitting death since Eddie Guerrero, and he sadly passed away in November 2005, and they had the Raw Eddie Guerrero tribute show. That hit hard. I mean, that definitely hit hard. I think this one hit just as hard with Bray Wyatt, just like with Eddie Guerrero. And Eddie was loved by everyone, just like with Bray. And this was right before the 05 Survivor Series that Eddie, I think I heard a story he was supposed to win the world title in 05 for Batista. But, and man, I wish I would have started. And I watched it. I've been watching wrestling in WWE since September 07. I wish I would have watched earlier before Eddie had passed to see how great Eddie was. But watching all WWE clips of Eddie, he was that good. Absolutely a 5 total package, no questions asked. Had everything going for him. I mean, heck, he even has his son wrestling on Monday Night Raw on the Judgment Day. Well, though he is a Mysterio. We'll get to that in the show.
He's a Guerrero.
Facts.
I mean, like to be honest, yeah, we're saying he's Mysterio. He's nowhere even near Mysterio. He's a Guerrero.
Well, that's what Adam Carl keeps telling me. I keep telling him he's Dominic Mysterio. But we'll
I agree with Adam. He is a Guerrero. He's not a Mysterio.
Yeah,
Like, there's no resemblance between him and Ray. Does Ray have like a mullet hair? No. Also, does Ray have facial hair like Eddie had? No. Dominic has that. He has those features.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that during the show, but anyways, before we begin, don't forget, once hit the like. Hit the like for this video before we begin. That would be greatly appreciated. If you haven't subscribed to Furious Nation yet on YouTube, absolutely go subscribe. That would be appreciated as well. Hit the bell for all notifications also, so you're notified. And also follow me on X at FioriNick579 on X. No longer Twitter, now X. So go follow me on X. Follow me on Facebook at Nicholas.Fiori.31 and follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiori2014. Links will be in the description after the video. Adam, where can we follow you on social media?
You can follow me on X and Instagram at AdamCarl2005.
And Anthony,
as well as on Facebook.
Yep, you can add us as a friend if you like. Add us as a friend. You're more than welcome to do so. Don't be afraid to do so if you want to. And Anthony, where can we follow you as far as social media goes, my friend?
You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and also add me on Snapchat.
So links in the description will be put in once this video is off live. So that is that. So with all that being said and all that said and out of the way, let's begin. We got 19 categories to go over here. I got the first one. We got 19 categories to go over. I got the first one. It is category number 1. Category number 1. We got male wrestler of the year. We got Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and his whoa. I know, I still do it sometimes with his, and I sing to his music. We got the Ring General Gunther. And then we got Seth freaking Rollins. Whoa. He's great though, Adam. I know.
Yeah, exactly. One of the best in the world.
Yes. Doing great as
so
well.
So is everyone on that best way.
And then the head of the table, the current undisputed WWE Universal Champion.
This is my guy come up right here.
Roman Reigns.
The
one.
I
love Roman. He's my favorite.
The guy who's reached over 1,200 days is undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion and the Tribal Chief of the Bloodline.
Acknowledge me.
Always acknowledge your Tribal Chief. Never not acknowledge your Tribal Chief.
Always show him his respect.
Or
put some respect on his name.
Or if Reigns is not there and you disrespect Heyman, Heyman will be like, call Roman Reigns.
I tell you, you're gonna respect me. You're gonna acknowledge me.
Yeah. So, with category number 1, the winner of Male Wrestler of the Year, 100% by a landslide, is the Ring General Gunther, and the current Intercontinental Champion, lead him, and the current and longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in WWE history, and the leader of Imperium. Now, Gunther winning this, I will say this is deserved. Look at the reign he's been on, not just as Intercontinental Champion, but on the main roster as a whole. This guy was in the Royal Rumble, entered number 1, and was in the final 2 with Cody Rhodes. I think we probably should have won it, but also Rey Mysterio held the record in 06, and for about 17 years, the longest time spent in one Royal Rumble match with 62 minutes and 12 seconds. That record held by Rey Mysterio for 17 long years in a 30-man Rumble. Longest time spent in one single Rumble. And Gunther, the record was for 17 years, and Gunther broke the record for an hour and 11 minutes.
He didn't break it. He smashed it.
Absolutely. He destroyed it. He shattered it. Demolished it.
Just like he shattered his opponents.
Yeah, and he beat Rey Mysterio. And during his reign as Intercontinental Champion, the names he's beaten, one of them was Rey Mysterio, if you remember that. It was early November of 2022 on SmackDown. Rey Mysterio fought Gunther for the IC title. David versus Goliath for the IC title. And Gunther went over, just destroyed Rey Mysterio. And it was a good match. And look at the reign that Gunther's had. The names he's beaten, not just Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, Matt Riddle, Mustafa Ali. He's beaten so many guys. Bronson Reed is another guy.
Braun Strowman.
Yep, Braun Strowman. Chad Gable. He broke the honky
tonk.
The Miz. Yeah, The Miz, too, at Survivor Series in Chicago at War Games. And he's not Cockroach, by the way, The Miz. But
he's
Gunther,
awesome after all.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, and then Gunther beat and then Honky Tonk Man held the record for years with longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in WWE history, and Gunther broke the record, and well deservedly. The guy's been doing great since being called up from NXT, and he's a big Triple H guy. You know Triple H adores him. And then Imperium, leader of Imperium with Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. Yeah, Gunther's been on the tear since being on the main roster, and he is and as soon as he drops the Intercontinental title, he is your next World Heavyweight Champion. Mark my words. He's made the IC title the IC title has not been this important and prestigious for a very, very long time. And Gunther has brought that importance and prestige back to it. And it's a great thing to see, man.
I'd say the title is more valuable than the World Championship, I would say. That's how good Gunther is.
This is no disrespect to Seth Rollins and the great work he's done with the world title.
No. He's having a good title reign. I'd say his best world title reign.
To be honest, I think IC belt is better than US belt.
Yeah. And this is no disrespect to Logan Paul either, but I do see LA Knight beating him for it on Philly at WrestleMania 40. That's just my opinion. I think that's what they'll probably do because there's an unfinished business there going into the build for Money in the Bank in London last year. But yeah, I have to agree with you. The IC title, man, it's just like in the past, like you're the IC champion, you're pretty much in line to be the next world champion, and that's what it was in the past, and that's what it should be about. It's like the workhorse title, just like the US title. The IC title and the US title are the workhorse titles. They shouldn't feel like just mid-card and just props like Vince did over the years. But now with Triple H in charge and Gunther's IC champion, He's brought relevancy back to that title, and it's a beautiful thing to see. And it's only going to get better from here on out.
Absolutely, man.
And
Gunther is a guy. Gunther, he's got a presence about him. He makes you believe in what he does.
Brings the intensity out, seriousness out, and it brings a sense of realism. He's one of the most legit guys, legitimately.
Yeah,
and you could put this guy, literally, you could put this guy in the Hulkamania era. He'd fit like a glove. The new generation, like with Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, he'd fit like a glove. Attitude era with Austin and Rock, with Stone Cold and The Rock, and Kurt Angle, he'd fit like a glove. Ruthless Aggression era with guys like Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, he'd fit like a glove. Put this guy in any era, he would fit perfectly. He would kill it in either era of WWE.
Absolutely. No matter what, no matter if he's in the ring with a bigger guy who's slightly like just as tall as him or taller than him or a smaller guy than him, he makes everyone around him look fantastic.
Even with matches with Chad Gable, he made you believe Gable could actually beat him for the IC title, and it was very believable. It was that Raw in early September. This is a week before Gunther broke the Honky Tonk Man's record. Chad Gable made you believe, and when Gunther beat Gable, I mean, Gunther even made one of Chad Gable's kids cry in the front row.
Gunther said, "Fuck them, kids."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Gunther's probably like, screw your kids. He probably fuck your kids. Who cares about them?
Yeah. I that's how legit Gunther really is, man. He's just like a rare breed, but he's so good. He's so good. And when he was Walter, and then they changed his name to Gunther, it's like, oh, this is shit. He's ruined already. But he's made that look like he's basically turned something from chicken shit to chicken salad. That should just go to show you how great Gunther really is. He's that good.
And he's a perfectionist.
There's a reason why he's the ring general, not your typical big man. He's very agile. Guys jumping off the top rope. He's not your like Big Show Mark Henry. He's like jumping off top ropes. He's doing hesitation drop kicks. He's only going to get better from here on out. And I predict by the end of this year, he will be your next World Heavyweight Champion, especially with WWE Bash in Berlin in Germany this August 31st. I'm making a bold prediction on that. He'll be world champion by the end of the year.
Yeah, like to be honest,
I think he wins it at Bash in Berlin. I mean, he was synonymous with wrestling in Germany before he ever came into the WWE.
And he is of Austrian descent too.
Yeah. I see him main eventing that show, and he wins the world title.
Yeah,
then maybe eventually on the main roster when Ilya Dragunov eventually hits the main roster. Imagine Ilya Dragunov on Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh,
sign me up.
Sign us up, bro.
I think history from NXT UK.
Match of the year. That'll be the match of the year right there.
They had a match of the year candidate at NXT TakeOver 36 too over the NXT UK title where Dragunov actually slayed Gunther and took the NXT UK title off of him. And you talk about an intense like at a Gunther level. You think about Ilya Dragunov, man. He is at the level of a Gunther and a Roman Reigns. And those two had killer matches in NXT UK. Imagine that on the main roster. That would probably be just as good, and I would be all for that, man. And Gunther with the NXT UK title made it prestigious before NXT UK came to a close. And he's made the IC title prestigious. Imagine what he'd do for the World Heavyweight title when he beats either CM Punk or Seth Rollins. Imagine.
I mean, to be honest, he's gonna do big things for that world title. To be honest, I think he'll be the face of Raw. Is more likely.
Absolutely, Gunther's your world champion. I don't know if anyone will be able to beat him. Maybe Ilya Dragunov, but
or Ilya Dragunov, or maybe a Braun Breaker when he gets called up.
Yeah, Braun Breaker. And he's still in NXT. Tag win Baron Corbin with the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which they did on NXT New Year's Evil this past Tuesday. I don't know why they have Braun Breaker still in NXT. He should be on Raw or SmackDown now. He's ready. He's been ready for months.
Yeah, imagine if you get Gunther versus Braun Bigger, like battle of the Titans right there.
And they've actually, fun little fact, they fought in NXT for the NXT title. Remember that NXT after WrestleMania 38, Braun Breaker in the main event in NXT battled Gunther for the NXT title, and that's where Breaker actually beat Gunther. And this was Gunther's final NXT match before hitting the main roster after that shortly.
They can run it back. They got the history already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two bulls going at it. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it, man. Moving on, though. Enough chatter about Gunther. We got the next category. Adam, you got the second category. You got Female Wrestler of the Year.
For the Female Wrestler of the Year, the Eradicator. I still don't know why. I don't know why this is a nickname, but whatever, it is what it is.
Mommy.
Rhea Ripley. Yeah. Dominic's girlfriend. Facts.
No, Dominic has a girlfriend. Rhea Ripley's with Buddy Matthews in AEW.
Sure thing. The genius of the sky, Io Sky.
Yes.
The man, Becky Lynch, and the EST, Bianca Belair. And the winner by a landslide is Rhea Ripley.
Mommy. Rhea Ripley.
I actually wanted Becky to win this one, I think. Really. I really wanted Becky to win this one.
The man, Becky Lynch.
Because, yeah, she's had a fantastic year overall. Like, she had the steel cage with Bayley. She won the tag team titles with Lita. She won at WrestleMania with Lita and Trish. She had that steel cage match with Trish. And she pretty much elevated NXT as the NXT Women's Champion. She got eyes on the show.
She got on TV for a while now. She's on TV being used. She's battled people like Xia Li and Lyra Valkyria, the current NXT Women's Champion.
She had a fantastic match with Nia Jax of all people.
Yeah. Also,
you're fantastic. You know someone is
also like Becky.
Someone is fantastic at their job if they can get Nia Jax to a great match.
And also, Becky Lynch had a great match against Tiffany Stratton for the NXT Women's Championship.
That was an NXT No Mercy and Extreme Rules match. Now,
yeah.
I think Tiffany should have beaten Becky with. I don't think she should have dropped the title to Becky Lynch on NXT, but she did have a very good Extreme Rules match with Becky at NXT No Mercy.
They can always run that back on the main roster.
Absolutely.
They can always run that back. And the women's
and with Becky on Raw, I think isn't Tiffany Stratton dating Ludwig Kaiser, who's also on Raw?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So I could see them reliving, like doing the rivalry again, but this time on Raw, on the main roster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if this were up to me, basically, if it were up to me, Becky would have won. From my opinion, she is the Female Wrestler of the Year. If I had to make the choice.
Yeah, I could probably see where you're coming from.
Yeah, but Rhea Ripley isn't a bad choice at all.
Another candidate.
She's also.
Another candidate.
Rhea Ripley as well. She's not a bad choice whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, she won the Royal Rumble. She won the Women's Championship at WrestleMania.
She was number 1 in the Rumble. And number 2, Liv Morgan. I think they set a record for longest time for a woman spent in one Royal Rumble. I think they broke Bianca Belair's record from 2021.
I think
2020 was one of them.
Aren't they like the first Royal Rumble participants who entered number 1 and number 2 who were also the final 2 since Michaels and Bulldog in '95?
And then you had Vince McMahon and Stone Cold in a 1999 Rumble. They entered at 1 and 2, the first 2 to start.
Oh yeah, Austin and McMahon. Yeah. Liv and Rhea were like the first Rumble participants who entered 1 and 2 to make it to the final 2 since Austin and McMahon. The one where Vince McMahon won the Royal Rumble.
Thanks to The Rock.
Yeah.
Only for Vince to not even challenge for the title at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Why have him win when you could have had Austin win? But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I kind of liked that decision, really. Watching the Rumble back, basically 99, that match. I kind of actually like the decision of McMahon winning just because, the story of him trying to screw over Austin.
Yeah. Going into that year's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, Vince always made decisions for himself, basically, because knowing Vince himself.
Yeah.
Like he always put himself in matches like just for him.
You can't have a Rumble. You can't have a list of Rumble winners without me in it, pal.
You gotta have me in the Rumble, and I gotta win it, pal. You don't want me to win? You're gonna puke. I hate Austin. I don't want Stone Cold to win. I hate Stone Cold. I hate Austin. I hate Austin.
I so hate The Rock. I will be a Mania. It's all for me.
And then he got stunned at WrestleMania once Austin won the championship from Dwayne.
Yeah, in Philadelphia at WrestleMania 15, the same WrestleMania in Philadelphia 25 years later, ironically.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, but yeah, in the first, for the women, the first two to start, the final two from the first two with the start of the match. And Rhea took a spear from Beth Phoenix in the match or earlier in the night, and she still managed to win. And now Rhea won was genius. When Asuka was in the final three, did the miss to Liv Morgan. Well, it was intended for Rhea, but Rhea ducked. Liv got the miss. Rhea eliminates Asuka, then Rhea eliminates Liv, which I loved the finish of the final three. Loved it for that Women's Royal Rumble in 2023. Loved it. And Rhea won the Rumble by entering at 1. No females won the Rumble by number like a female entering at 1 and winning the whole thing from starting at 1. It's never happened, and Rhea's the first one to do it. She beat Charlotte Flair clean for the SmackDown Women's title, now the Women's World title, at WrestleMania 39, night number 1 at WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. Beat Charlotte clean as a whistle for that championship. And Rhea's just been on dominant tear since, has put Liv Morgan on the shelf, has beaten Raquel Rodriguez, has beaten Ivy Nile, has beaten Zoe Stark as well, beat Nia Jax, Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, and Raquel Rodriguez in a fatal five-way at Crown Jewel 2023 in Saudi Arabia, retained the Women's World title in a fatal five-way. And Rhea Ripley, pretty much one of the top stars in the Judgment Day, and Rhea's just gained a lot more confidence since being in the Judgment Day. And hell, she had a segment with Randy Orton on the Raw after Survivor Series a couple months ago. The opening segment with Randy Orton. So I would say Rhea's pretty much had a good year. I mean, her title reign could be better, I will say. But
and she's potentially she's on her way to a WrestleMania match against Becky.
Yeah,
I think this is the direction they're going to go with for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I would say Liv Morgan another option, but I don't think she'd be believable to beat Rhea for the title.
Not to say it isn't believable, but like, why tease Becky and Rhea with their face off every time they do a face off, only to not do the match?
To be honest, I think another possible main opponent for Rhea would that be like the new signing, Jade Cargill, the Cargill one.
Yeah, well, I would probably say Jade Cargill have her debut match be a non-title because you want her to be ready, so she's not really green, because she is green and she does need work, and that's why she's at the WWE Performance Center to get better. Speaking of her, I saw a Twitter video last night. She's apparently training with Odyssey Jones, Mark Henry Jr., Natalia, and the Wrestling Hart Family Dungeon. Also, you're not going to believe this, the fourth person training with them, AEW star and current AEW Tag Team Champion with Big Bill or Big Cass, Ricky Starks. Have you seen that, Adam?
I see. Yeah. And Jade is improving.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's getting ready for that big time.
Yeah, and also a little thing, I'm gonna say it out there. I mentioned Ricky Starks in there. Yeah. I think he's as good as gone whenever. I don't know when his AEW contract runs out, but I wouldn't be surprised if his deal's up soon and he goes to WWE. Would not shock me. It's only a matter of time. And he's good friends with Cody Rhodes, who's over there.
The door is open already for him.
Yep.
I could see it in this. I don't know when the deal is up, but I could see him joining in the summer. Yeah. This is my prediction, basically. He joins in the summer of 24.
I mean, how AEW World's End in that 8-man tag, he lost clean, which should, like, a tag team champion, he lost fucking clean.
Lost the clean to fucking Jericho.
Yeah.
We shall And we shall not mention his. Well, you know, it's a story for a different day.
Actually, to read, but Nick Hausman kind of was actually false. But Nick Hausman's a piece of shit. Nick Hausman, fuck him. But that's discussion for another day. Anyways, but back to the Rhea Ripley thing. Yeah, outside of the title ring, I mean, it could have been better, but I will say she's had a pretty good year. 2023 beat Charlotte clean. Probably one of the only few or one or two people that Charlotte's put over. She put Rhea over clean, which was the right thing. And Rhea's been on a tear since, and I could see Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch going at it at WrestleMania in Philly for the women's world title. I don't know if I don't think I'd have Becky win the title, but I would have Rhea go over, but that's just my take on it. Quick thoughts on everybody else.
I mean, I think Rhea will they retain because we've seen Becky Lynch as women's champion for many times, so I think Rhea should keep the belt and may possibly lose it to like the new Sonny J Cargill.
Yeah, probably in the summer when she's ready at SummerSlam, maybe.
Yeah.
Adam. Or Adam, as Adam Cole would yell, or no, Roderick Strong, Adam,
Samoa,
Joe,
yep.
Adam. Undisputed Kingdom in AEW with Adam Cole, Wardlow, Roderick Strong in the Kingdom of Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Revealed at World's End. Love it. But your thoughts on with Rhea Ripley, Adam?
Well, she's had a fantastic year. That's not a question to be asked, really. I think she's one for the future. Like, how old is she? 26?
She is.
And she's that fantastic?
She's around my age, 27, believe it or not.
Yeah, she's that good. Imagine where she will be 10 years from now.
Absolutely. Not even in her prime yet.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So we're moving on to the third category. Anthony, you got this one. Match of the year. So Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus at WrestleMania 39 Night 2. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest at Backlash. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest in Puerto Rico at Backlash. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos at WrestleMania on 39 Night 1. The main event for the tag team titles. For the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. And then Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And then, so, with winning this one, Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar got 0% Cody and Lesnar. Then again, there was no explanation.
I think the best match had be the Usos defended their tag belts against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania.
Well, Sami and Kevin and Usos got 25%, just like Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. But winning match of the year with 50% is Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental Championship on Night 2 at WrestleMania 39. Anthony, I'll let the floor be yours first.
I think the Triple Threat match is, that would be match of the year. Because he got, like, the match of all fires. All the fighting spirit guys was going at it. Like, these guys are all about wrestling. Like, that's what they're all about. So, hands down, that would be match of the year. Gunther, McIntyre, and Sheamus Triple Threat match.
And three international, and three nationalities, and three nationalities, I should say, of Ireland, Scotland, and Austrian, in 3 bowls. 2, a former Intercontinental Champion, 1 who's never won the IC title to become a Grand Slam champion, WWE, and then your current reigning defending Intercontinental Champion. This was probably match of the night for Night 2 WrestleMania 39 too, in my opinion, as well. This was a very good match, those 3.
I mean, there were so many fucking incredible matches in 2023. There were so many. But, like, this match, Rhea and Charlotte, Cody, Brock at SummerSlam, Sammy and KO WrestleMania. Against the Usos. Carmelo Hayes against Ilya Dragunov, their trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And then
The women's War Games match. So many great wrestling. KO and Sammy against the Judgment Day at Payback.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on and on of how many fucking fantastic matches we've had all 2023.
Yeah.
I would say for my money for WWE match of the year, yeah, I agree. Gunther, Sheamus, and McIntyre. And basically as well, another fantastic. I mean, three of the best McIntyre, Gunther, Sheamus. So it's not really a surprise. I mean, how do they have a bad match?
Yeah.
How do you put them in there and they have a bad match? Like, it's impossible.
Nearly
and basically,
this for Gunther to have a bad match. Nearly impossible.
Yeah, and the story was fantastic. Really, Gunther, he's trying to break the record. McIntyre, the Intercontinental Championship was his first championship. Sheamus hasn't won the IC title. He hasn't won it yet, at least.
True. He's won the US.
Yeah, and this could have gone either way. Really, it could have went to any of those three.
Yeah. And Drew McIntyre, former Intercontinental Champion, obviously when he was the chosen one in 2009 on SmackDown, when he was a lot younger, and he was the chosen one, handpicked by Mr. McMahon.
Yeah.
But
and basically, it's sweet justice for the Intercontinental Championship. A year ago, before this, it wasn't even defended on the WrestleMania card.
And you and I, Anthony, were at WrestleMania 38 in Dallas and AT&T Stadium. No U.S. title on the line, no IC title on the line. The IC title held by Ricochet at the time was defended on the SmackDown before. And that triple threat, it was Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo, and Ricochet in a triple threat match on the SmackDown before Mania 38 for the IC title. That could have easily been on the Mania 38 card. Easy. But they didn't do it. But instead we got Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair, who put everyone to sleep or have made everyone go in library silence. And where you had Omos and Bobby Lashley, and then you had Johnny Knoxville.
Now, Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn was really good.
I mean,
that's what I would keep on the WrestleMania card.
Easy, but in a funny way.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to take away McMahon's awful selling of the Stunner on night two. Yeah. Or the women's tag team title match. You got to take that off the fucking show. But yeah, but the ICE title in early 2022 didn't mean jack shit. Now it has meaning again.
1 year later, and it was arguably, I would say, the best match on the entire WrestleMania card for either night.
And then the U.S. title on the line for this past year's Mania, John Cena and Austin Theory for the U.S. title. Now, granted, the match could have been better, but it was Austin Theory and John Cena. That's a big deal. The former U.S. champion being John Cena. But yeah, I thought they deserved this match of the year to win this. And then Bad Bunny and Damian Priest wasn't that bad either. That was a hot Puerto Rico crowd. You had the return of Carlito, which was great. Came out to a big pop. You looked great. You had the Judgment Day and the LWO involved. Bad Bunny's entrance at Backlash was great. Damian Priest looked like $1 million. He really showed a lot of people that night. The Damian Priest, who's now Senor Money in the Bank of the Judgment Day, Damian Priest. He's come a long way. But
this was like, in a way, this was Damian Priest's WrestleMania. That match with Bad Bunny, this was like his WrestleMania. Considering he was the only member of the Judgment Day who didn't even have a match on the Mania card.
Yeah. And for a show that was not in a WWE pay-per-view or PLE that's not been in Puerto Rico since New Year's Revolution 2005, this was great. That was also a good show, Backlash 2023 in San Juan, Puerto Rico. This was great. Moving on to the next category. Category number 4, I got this one. Shocker of the year. We got WWE sold to Endeavor and Ari Emanuel. We got CM Punk returning to the WWE. We got Jimmy Uso turning on Jey Uso at SummerSlam 2023. And then we got the bloodline crumbling where Jay told Jimmy, well, guess what? You're out and I'm out too. Where the Uso super kick Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. And then Roman Reigns not once but twice. And the winner of this category for Shocker of the Year, winning by a landslide, 100%. And this is no brainer. CM Punk returning to the WWE. Something I thought would have never happened. Honestly. Back in WWE for the first time in 10 years, and was gone from wrestling for 7 years, went to AEW in August 2021. Then 2 years later, August 2023, he was fired after a fight with Jack Perry all in 2023 in Wembley because Jack Perry wanted to use real glass. And then Punk and Jack Perry got in a fight, and Tony Khan fired CM Punk. He had a decent run in AEW, but with CM Punk, with Tony Khan not really being a leader or a boss, and a bunch of egos in the AEW locker room, as good as AEW is, there's still a lot of problems in AEW that need to be fixed. But CM Punk back in WWE, I never would have thought would even happened, because this is the same guy who bashed the company many years ago, and then of course. And also, this guy was fired on his wedding day in June of 2014 when he was married to AJ Lee, who I think is going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble now that Punk's back. I think she could have one more run, and she looks great. And I don't think she ever lost, and I don't think she ever wanted to leave in 2015. But Vince kind of drove her out, and now that Vince is gone, I'd love to see AJ Lee back in WWE and get one more run. Just my opinion, but with CM Punk back in WWE, man, and him bashing the company all those years ago. And I know people are going to say, oh, CM Punk's a hypocrite. He's back to the company he once bashed years ago. He's now a hypocrite. Who cares? Who cares?
Who isn't a hypocrite nowadays?
You see people on X like Ryan Satin just calling CM Punk, oh, he's a hypocrite. Punk bashed the company all those years ago. He said he'll never come back. This didn't age well. Who gives a shit if he's a hypocrite? I mean, is he
Cody Rhodes bashed the company for like 6 years.
Yeah. It's like a lot of people are hypocrites. Like, who cares if they are? I'm just happy.
Bret Hart punched Vince McMahon in the face backstage after the Montreal Screwjob.
Yeah, Bret Hart did, and he came back. Time heals all wounds.
Ultimate Warrior, fucking had a fallout. How many fallouts with Vince McMahon?
Yeah. The thing is with WWE wrestlers, when they leave, they all do come back. Hulk Hogan came back. Ultimate Warrior came back. Kurt Angle came back. Rey Mysterio came back. Drew McIntyre came back. Cody Rhodes came back.
CM Punk came back.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar and The Rock came back. Mick Foley came back. Foley and Rock came back in 2011. Lesnar in 2012. RVD in 2013. They all do come back. The Hardys came back in 2017. Yeah. They all do come back. Rey Mysterio 2018, Kurt Angle 2017, when he was burnt out from WWE in like an 06 and he was bashed in the company, he wanted out. And he went to TNA when he was in TNA for many years. And he came back in 2017. They all do come back. This is why I think John Moxley / Dean Ambrose will eventually come back, in my opinion. That's why I think he'll eventually go back. Daniel Bryan, I think he'll eventually go back. Same thing with like Big Show, who's in AEW. That's why I think they'll eventually come back. Time heals all wounds. It's never good. It's never a healthy or good thing to hold a grudge. Like, if you hold a grudge, that's like no one can help you. That's really on you at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, overall as a whole, never hold grudges. Life is too short, and they all do come back.
Paul Heyman came back.
Yeah, in 2012. He left in 06 after ECW December to December 06, and now god awful that show was, and he left. And he came back in 2012 to be the advocate for Brock Lesnar.
He came back around the same time Brock Lesnar came back.
In 2012, that Raw to WrestleMania 28, where that crowd erupted when Brock came out and interrupted John Cena. Erupted. So now CM Punk is back. He's now joins those list of names. And I'm just happy the man's back to look. The man looks happy to be back. Just look at him at All In Wembley. It looks like you see the look on Punk's face as if he didn't want to be there. You see it written all over his face.
Mm-hmm.
And now with him back in WWE, you can tell he's genuinely happy to be back. He's even working with the NXT boys and girls like Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. and helping them out, and they want to learn. And in AEW, the locker room didn't want to listen or learn from Punk from the AEW locker room. The NXT boys and girls actually want to learn from Punk. I wish
He's in a locker. He's in a place where people would actually want to listen to him.
Yeah,
he's also a place where he feels home. That's another good thing.
Yeah. And AEW was like he said in the All Out 2022 media scrum. He said he worked with children, like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, Jack Perry, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin. People didn't want to listen, didn't want to learn. Or a lot of egos in the AEW locker room just not put in check. And a guy in Tony Khan who's not really a leader or a boss and all. But Triple H, like, and I see people on X, CM Punk back in WWE, he'll be right back to being fired in a couple months. Give it a couple months.
This is his last chance at retiring.
Yeah. He knows he has to be on his best behavior, and I think he is going to be because
how many years have you had
Triple H? There's a big difference between the two. Tony Khan's not a leader. Triple H is. Any egos there are, Triple H puts them right in check.
How many problems has Punk caused? How many times has he gotten in trouble?
Since he's been
AEW was basically like his second chance to retire on a high. That didn't happen.
No. And then you listen to Hangman and Punk on their shoot promo before Double or Nothing 2022. That was a legit shoot that they did not like each other.
Now this is this comeback. He knows this is probably his final chance to go on a high.
I also look at CM Punk when he was in UFC. Like, he didn't like that company. He didn't last that as long in UFC.
Well,
CM Punk is Punk is actually like he's an MMA fan.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. But if only his UFC career went better. At least he tried it. I'll give him that. At least he tried it out. Tried something that he loved.
Yeah. And like some people in the WWE locker room do some like Punk, no, but however, are they going to do business with him like Seth Rollins? Absolutely. Seth even proved it in a promo a few weeks ago on Raw, that he even made the Elite look dumb, because it's like the Elite, look at how much money could have been made with Kenny Omega and CM Punk in AEW. And the Elite didn't want to do business with Punk. Oh, no, we don't like Punk. We want nothing to do with Phil Brooks. We don't want to do business with him. Tony Khan left a lot of money on the table, what could have been with Punk and Omega. Money could have been made big time with those two, but the Elite chose not to. They should have. And now Seth Rollins, does he like Punk? No, but you don't. It's like you don't have to like the guy, but it's like at least do business. And Seth Rollins may not like CM Punk. He may legitimately in real life hate CM Punk's guts. But is Seth going to do business with Phil Brooks? Absolutely, because Seth's a professional at the end of the day. A lot of those people in that WWE locker room are professionals, and whether they like somebody or not, at the end of the day, they're going to put personal stuff aside, and business is going to come first, and business does come first, and they're going to do business with CM Punk, like a Seth Rollins, and I think we do get Seth and Punk for the world title at WrestleMania 40, and for the main event of Night 1 WrestleMania 40. That is your Night 1 WrestleMania 40 main event. CM Punk and Seth Rollins for the world heavyweight title, and I predict CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble at the end of this month.
His last Royal Rumble match was 10 years ago, his final ever WWE match, and 10 years later, his first pay-per-view match back in WWE in over a decade is the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, 2014.
How symbolic.
Pittsburgh. I remember it when Batista won it. Mm-hmm. He was in the Final Four, and he was tossed out by Kane, who was eliminated early in the match by Punk. Then he was chokeslammed to the announce table by Kane, and then after that, he was disappeared.
Yeah. Now, 10 years later, his first pay-per-view match back for WWE is the Royal Rumble. This is symbolic. The very match that he never won.
Yeah, and he should have won it in 2014 too. If not Daniel Bryan, then Punk would have easily been another good choice. Same thing with like a Dolph Ziggler in 2014. But no, they gave it to Dave Batista, and he got booed out of the building in 2014 at the Royal Rumble. Or Roman Reigns, when he broke Kane's record, could have gave it to Reigns at the time. But no, let's give it to Dave Batista, who was booed out of the building by that Pittsburgh crowd, who didn't deserve it. Gone for 4 years, and he's handed the Rumble.
Poor Batista.
Came back at the wrong time when Daniel Bryan was reaching big popularity. Picked a really bad time to come back to Batista.
They should have just saved him as a surprise. If they were going to bring him back at the Rumble, they should have kept him a surprise instead of announcing it.
And weeks have been yet, so Batista's coming back on Raw right before the Rumble. That was a big mistake.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, this is back in those times, back in like 2014, 2013, like those decisions were not made smart, with like returns and stuff, like returns at a bad moment.
Yeah. It's like at the end of the day, who cares if CM Punk's hypocrite or not? I'm just happy the man's back, and he makes wrestling that much better. CM Punk is of old school, long term storytelling and booking, and CM Punk and wrestling makes wrestling better. And the man is good for business, and he's a draw. I don't care what anyone says. CM Punk.
He's always in discussions. People always talk about him.
I mean, look at WWE usually. It's like December 26th. Usually every year they have their WWE holiday tour in Madison Square Garden. CM Punk sold that out, and I don't think that show for the house show and MSG around that time has sold out in years. And Punk sold it out, and he was there wrestling Dominic Mysterio, I think.
Yeah.
The show sold out, and he sold out ticket sales, and merchandise has gone up with him there. I think he's in the top 2 or top 1 merch seller, I think, with Cody Rhodes, if not mistaken.
I think he's the top merchandise seller. Last time I checked, I think he's the top merchandise seller.
And yet people want to say, oh, CM Punk's not a draw. Oh, Punk's a hypocrite. Oh, CM Punk's is not a draw. He's not this or that. The ratings and the ticket sales and merch sales say otherwise. Am I a big Punk fan? No, but do I think he should be in wrestling? Absolutely. He brings the sense of urgency and realism to the product that the WWE also needs. He brings that. And I'm just happy the man is back. And he looks happy to be back. As long as that man's happy, that's all I care about. And I'm glad he's back for one final run to write the final chapter of his career the way he wants to. And I think it was said when he retires, he wants to work with NXT, which I think would be great and awesome.
I could see him replacing HBK.
Yeah, I mean he's fine, but I don't think he's able to keep up much anymore. Shawn Michaels.
I would say he does a good. I would say he does a good job.
Shawn Michaels, by the way.
I think he does a good job with the talent that he has on his disposal.
Especially
but I don't think he's gonna be there like forever. I think I think at some point he's gonna have to find his replacement, and Punk is that replacement.
Yeah, I mean maybe he's starting to wind down.
Yeah, maybe he takes like a lesser role. Like he could still work for the company, but like he works, backstage stuff while he lets Punk run NXT.
And he's nearing 60 too. He's also nearing the age of 60. And he's not getting any younger. So, hey, if Punk takes over NXT, hey, I don't mind that at all. I definitely watch NXT again if Punk took over the NXT. As far as creative production.
Also, to be honest, NXT will be a lot more better with CM Punk running it. To be honest, like no disrespect to Shawn Michaels, but the way that NXT has been looking, to be honest, I think NXT could use a refresher.
I mean, there's a lot of good talent there, but the show is not where it needs to be. It feels like you watch a show, it feels like a high school drama. It's not where it needs to be at all.
Oh, it's a developmental show. You're developing talent. I think that's what the purpose of the show is. You're developing talent. Getting them ready for the big time.
True. I just think also with NXT Black and Gold, I just felt like that didn't need to be changed when Vince and Bruce obliterated the show in 2021 when they changed it to 2.0.
I think Michaels has done a good job, really. I think, the likes of Braun Breaker, Tiffany Strand, Carmelo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov. The Creeds got recently called up.
Ivy Nile, Tony D'Angelo is another one. Don't forget Tony D.
Yeah. But basically, it's achieving its mission as a developmental show. Basically, in a way like, OVW used to be.
Yeah. when you had
when OVW and WWE like had a working relationship, and OVW was like developmental.
when you had
Where you
your
had
you had Lesnar,
Yeah.
Cena, Orton, Batista, Shelton,
yeah,
Benjamin.
I think that is the mission they're going for, and I think they're achieving it.
Yeah,
it's gonna pay up big time.
Yeah. Moving on, category 5. This is you, Adam. Return of the year.
The return of the year for 2023. CM Punk, Carlito, Caribbean Cool.
He's cool, though he's been cool since siding with Rey Mysterio against Santos Escobar.
And he gets his ass handed to him.
Mm-hmm.
He says there's only one man to blame, Santos Escobar.
Thanks for destroying the LWO from within, Carlito.
Mm-hmm.
Kairi Sane and Randy Orton. This should not be a shock who won here. Do I need to say it? It's no shock who won here. CM Punk.
Yeah.
Best in the world.
To be honest, like there's no return better than CM Punk for 2023.
I remember when the dirt sheet said, "Oh, WWE has no interest in bringing in Punk. The talks have died down. The talks have been separated. Oh, he's not coming in." I really think he was coming back, but they didn't want the dirt sheets to be known. Like Sapp didn't know, Boozer didn't know, nobody knew. PW Insider with Mike Johnson didn't know. You only knew when CM Punk's music would hit in Chicago at Survivor Series War Games in 2023. That's when you'd know. They wanted no spoilers just to show up.
The only ones who know about his situation were Punk himself, Triple H, and Nick Khan.
Yeah, nobody knew except for Triple H, Nick Khan.
And the roof, and the building, and the roof went off the place when Cult of Personality hit.
And when they had the end credits after Cody's team won at Survivor Series a couple months ago, when they had the end credits, I'm like, okay, no CM Punk. And then it's like, okay, if Punk doesn't return here, then the Royal Rumble, then the end credits, and all of a sudden CM Punk, Cult of Personality music, and I'm like, I was like, oh my God.
They actually pulled it off.
They were like playing with fire, and they actually did it at Survivor Series in his hometown in Chicago, in the Windy City in Chicago. And all these past logos when CM Punk was in Straight Edge Society, then the best in the world, and Punk came out, huge, humongous pop. He didn't get in the ring. He was just on the stage, just there. And you saw Seth Rollins cursing him out, and
CM Punk waving at Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Hi, old friend. Remember the good times?
2011, WrestleMania 27, Orton versus Punk, when Punk was in the new Nexus. I remember it well. Anthony and I remember it so well.
Yeah.
When CM Punk was the one of the top heels on Raw at the time, before his match with Cena at Money in the Bank in 2011 in Chicago for the WWE title. When Punk left Chicago and left the company with the WWE title and blew a kiss to Vince McMahon. Then his notorious pipe bomb in late June of 2011 into John Cena, where CM Punk mentioned Vince McMahon's yes men, and Punk saying that he's the best in the world. So good. But yeah, no brainer, no shocker whatsoever. Probably the biggest return in history, next to like Rock and Lesnar, my opinion. Anyone's quick thoughts on that?
I mean, it's just like the shocker of the year, basically.
Mm-hmm.
This is a return nobody ever thought. This is the example of never say never. At this point, with him coming back, at this point, anything is possible. Even if we don't think it's gonna happen, or even if we don't think maybe it's a possibility, but we don't think it will happen. I think there is a chance that it could. You don't rule it out.
Chris Jericho's bashed the company for years. Oh, I don't care who's in charge. Or like John Moxley, when he bashed the company, but that was because of Kevin Dunn. Now he's not there. Yeah, Kevin Dunn's not in WWE anymore, ladies and gentlemen. He's gone. Who's to say John Moxley now with Kevin Dunn gone? Who's to say Dean Ambrose doesn't return when his AEW contract is up, and who's he doesn't give Triple H a phone call? You know, Daniel Bryan, Big Show, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy. The wrestlers and the wrestlers in the industry have better relationships. A lot of them have better relationships with Triple H than with Vince McMahon. Even look at Scott Steiner. He bashed Triple H for years, calling Triple H a piece of shit and saying the Hall of Fame was nothing. And look at Scott Steiner in 2022.
He 20 years later, he got into the Hall of Fame with his brother.
Buried the hatchet, water under the bridge with Triple H and Scott Steiner. Now they get along.
Mm-hmm.
Even CM Punk and Triple H, they hate each other like with 2011. Then it was that Raw in Chicago. It was before Backlash in 2023, where Punk was still under AEW contract, but he was backstage talking with The Miz and Triple H and just burying the hatchet.
Yeah.
Because even Punk and Miz hated each other for years. Now they don't anymore. Same thing with Triple H and Punk. They hate each other for the years. Now it's not the case anymore. Punk came to Triple H and Miz, and Punk apologized for what he did in the past.
Yeah. He is the example of anything can happen.
And I do think the man wants to change.
Yeah. To be honest, I think CM Punk is a lot more. I think he's a lot more comfortable with the company now.
He is. And also Cora Jade, her favorite wrestler, CM Punk, Cora Jade there, and her idol hero, CM Punk there. Then Roxanne Perez, AJ Lee's kids, by the way. Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. I know.
AJ Lee and CM Punk's kids.
Yes.
To be honest, Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, they both remind me of CM Punk and AJ Lee so much.
They do. Like more so Cora Jade with AJ, but I could see some Punk vibes with Cora.
Mm-hmm.
But Cora Jade, when she's ready, she'll be on the main roster. Cora Jade. Roxanne Perez is more than ready for the main roster, just like Tiffany Stratton. Those girls should be on the main roster, killing it. They've been ready for a while now. But CM Punk Return of the Year, absolute no-brainer. I mean, Orton's was out for a year and a half. It was great to see him back after almost having to retire with a back injury. Norton proved the doctors wrong, and he looks great. It looks like he never lost it. Carlito was nice to see. Nice to see him back as well for the first time since 2010. He looks great. Happy to see him back. He was very underrated in the Ruthless Aggression era. Happy to see him back as well. Kairi Sane, also happy to see her back for the first time since July of 2020 when she was written off by Bayley and Sasha Banks, now Mercedes Moné. Now she's in damage. Now she's back in Damage Control. Happy to see her back there as well. But I think CM Punk, this is deserved with CM Punk Return of the Year. Like I said, top 3 return in history next to The Rock and Brock Lesnar, in my honest opinion. But moving on to the 6th category, Anthony, you got this one. You got Show of the Year. Raw, NXT, and SmackDown.
I think, I'm kind of torn between Raw and SmackDown because I know NXT has been so hot lately this year. So, I mean, it's kind of hard, difficult to pick between Raw and SmackDown here.
Well, NXT actually got 33.3% of the votes. SmackDown got 0, and Raw won Show of the Year with 66.7%. Right here. So yeah. Raw wins Show of the Year.
So I think I'm going to go with the percentage for Raw. So I'm going to go with Raw.
Yeah, I mean, despite with Vince bullying his way back in, only for Ari to throw Vince under the bus, which I love, puts a smile on my face. And Ari Emanuel knighting Triple H. When WWE was sold to Endeavor, Vince thought he could cheat the system. But despite all that, and now Triple H fully and 100% in charge, I say with Gunther and then DIY, and then this stuff with the Judgment Day, and then Cody Rhodes versus Judgment Day for far too long for months, though, was rinse and repeat. They did have very good matches, though.
Yeah, and also Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre feud over the World Championship.
Yep, and Drew McIntyre's heel turn, the rise of Ivar, rise of Chad Gable, Gunther and Imperium, DIY reuniting Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, even the stuff with the Miz and R-Truth in the Judgment Day as well. Sami Zayn after Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and then Sami Zayn
Jey
after Kevin
Uso.
Owens. Yep, yeet, main event Jey Uso.
Yeet.
And Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso as tag team champs for a little bit. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. And then the damage control stuff with Becky Lynch as well. And then Logan Paul and Ricochet as well.
Logan Paul and Seth Rollins?
Yes, going into WrestleMania. Yep, that as well. Seth Rollins is World Heavyweight Champion. Seth feuding with Judgment Day. Shinsuke Nakamura and his heel turn and his heel run, which has been fantastic with Shinsuke Nakamura. Overall, I would say Raw deservingly with this. SmackDown was good for like the first 4 months, then afterwards wasn't the same, but has picked up lately better, like with Santos Escobar turning on Rey Mysterio, and then the bringing back the GMs with Adam Pearce as Raw GM, and then Nick Aldis as SmackDown GM. That's just my take on it. Then Logan Paul with the U.S. title, Bobby Lashley with the Street Profits. You have the stuff with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory as a tag team now, which I think they're a great pairing. Carlito back, the rise of LA Knight, Damage Control, pretty much running SmackDown. What's your guys' take on this?
I mean, Raw was fantastic all year, I would say. It was really good.
I
would say the same thing for NXT as well. SmackDown kind of 50-50.
Yeah. To be
but
honest,
it was more of a there, but the good outweighed the bad.
Yeah. I think Raw has a better star power though. I think Raw has a most star power throughout like all brands.
Yeah. I mean, NXT had some decent episodes, but NXT, like I said, it's not where it really needs to be, in my opinion. But, I mean, they broke up Toxic Attraction, which was dumb. They just, yeah, that. But SmackDown, like they had with first 4 months, was decent, and then after that, just not the same. But then when Ari United Triple H, it got slightly better. I mean, a little bit, but I think really with them they needed more star power, and just like was Roman Reigns of the Bloodline good, everything else just wasn't important. But I think they also needed star power at the end of the day as well, and I think that's why bringing in Kyrie Sane and Carlito and Randy Orton back makes the show better. Just my take on every single bit of that. And plus, with the draft, I don't think Triple H booked the 2023 draft. I think SmackDown kind of got shafted.
Kind of.
And I think Vince booked that draft. That was not Triple H booking the 2023 draft. I mean, hell, you got Inda Share to Raw. Inda Share with Jinder Mahal. And not Shanky, he's released. Sangha and Veer. Remember Veer Mahan?
Veer is coming.
Send Veer. And they haven't been on TV in weeks since Triple H has taken over. You know, very telling. This with Triple H in charge, Inda Share is not on TV. Now good. No Inda Share on TV makes this guy very happy.
Well, Jinder Mahal is still on TV.
Ugh, that guy.
He had a segment with The Rock. Former WWE champion. Remember that. Former WWE champion Jinder Mahal had a segment with The Rock.
And he got spine bustered, and he ate a spine buster and a people's elbow. Yeah, some former WWE champion in Jinder Mahal you had there. For 6 months, reign of terror. Look where he's at now. Then he did the Shanti, shitty.
And then he speaks in Punjab.
Oh, God.
Not that it's an issue. Not that I have an issue with him speaking in his native language. I think he's of Indian descent, right? Indian can speak
Yeah,
the language. I just don't understand what he says. Don't
yeah,
they have subtitles? They do subtitles for Nakamura when he speaks in Japanese. Why can't they do have subtitles for Jinder whenever he speaks Indian?
yeah. But anyhows, but yeah, I would agree. Show of the year with Raw this year, and then NXT SmackDown but I think Raw deserves it for this year. Um, the next category, this is me. I got category number 7. I got let me pull it up. I got the next category for PLE of the year, ladies and gentlemen. This is my next category. PLE of the year, category number 7, WrestleMania 39 with 20% of the votes, Backlash 2023 with 20% of the votes, Fastlane with 0%, and the winner with winning 60% of the votes, Survivor Series War Games of 2023.
What are you doing?
William Regal. War Games. War Games. So I think this is deserved. I was thinking Backlash because of the crowd, but I would say this was probably show of the year or PLE of the year, I should say.
I
I
mean,
mean,
WWE PLE. I mean, pretty much all. I would say majority. They were fantastic from top to bottom. I mean, you could have picked from any. Backlash, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank.
yeah,
Yeah, Elimination Chamber. I would say Survivor Series. Basically, I would say it takes the cake. But it could have gone either way. You could say any of them, but I would say Survivor Series for sure.
yeah.
I mean, both War Games matches, fantastic.
You had the 2 War Games matches. You had Zoe Stark and Rhea Ripley's world title. You had Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. You had the Miz and Gunther for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah,
I
both
thought
War Games matches, fantastic stories they were telling, off the charts.
then the
And
returns
then
of Baron
the ending with Punk coming back.
Yeah,
Honestly, for me, Punk coming back at the end of Survivor Series pretty much like seals it for me as the show of the year.
yeah,
It's basically a moment that will be replayed decades from now. You know
absolutely.
where you were when Punk came back at the end of Survivor Series, made his first WWE appearance for the first time in almost a decade.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, then the undercard wasn't that bad either. Dragon Lee and Santos Escobar, they're destined to fight forever. Um, Zoe Stark and Rhea Ripley for the women's world title was a fine match as well. The women's war games with Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, Becky Lynch, and Bianca Belair versus Damage Control was pretty good. You had some nice cool spots with the kendo sticks with Damage Control, and then the table spot with Becky Lynch, and then with Shotzi with I think the Bailey, and she was pinned. Charlotte and Becky embracing in the ring was nice. Um, she had that. You had the men's war games where Damian Priest almost cashed in the Money in the Bank.
How do you cash in during a War Games match?
Well, Seth's the world champion. He was one of the participants in the match. He was down and
You
out.
have yeah. How many other guys are in this match? What,
The heels had a
10?
the heels had a 5-on-4 advantage.
You have 8 other guys in this match with Rollins Priest. You have 8 other guys. How are you gonna cash in? Is this now a world title match? 10 guys, 10-man match.
Yeah, yeah, that wouldn't make sense. Then Orton comes
That would have
back.
gone over.
Yeah, then Orton comes back. He comes out to a big pop. Ever does the Orton drape DDT. Randy Orton and JD McDonough is thrown off the top of the cage. Midair RKO. Poor JD McDonough.
He's gone through so much.
Yeah, you mean JD McRib.
He's getting bullied every week by Damian Priest.
JD
He's getting
McNugget.
bullied every week, and now he gets an RKO from the top of the cage, flying into Randy Orton's arms.
JD McTriple. JD McChicken.
What did he do to deserve all this punishment? He just wants to be with his. He just wants to be in the Judgment Day. and he's getting bullied for it.
Heck, he's even beaten by R-Truth, and he's not in the Judgment Day. R-Truth.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I don't know where Anthony is at this point, but we'll move on. I'm sure he would agree with PLE of the year being Survivor Series and with CM Punk. Anyways, you got the next category, Adam. We're gonna move on. Show must go on. Mr. Adam Carl, I think you got category number 8.
Breakout male wrestler of the year: Solo Sikoa, Grayson Waller, Jack Gable, and L.A. Knight.
No. L.A. Knight. Yeah. The megastar.
A real megastar.
And the winner of... Go ahead.
And the winner is a true megastar.
By a landslide.
The winner... Yeah. L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. What everybody's saying.
L.A.
Knight. Yeah.
I would say this is the right call.
Absolutely.
I'd say this is the right decision.
Absolutely, man. His feud with Bray Wyatt. I know.
You think of where he was a year ago before this.
He was a fucking manager.
He was Max Dupree.
With Maxine Dupree and Marseille and Mansoir.
And apparently he hated Vince McMahon so much.
And he almost quit too.
I can see why he hated Vince McMahon so much. I would hate Vince McMahon too.
And he almost walked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is right before Vince even retired, and thank God Triple H took over. He would have walked out.
Good thing that people and this is a true story. The good thing that people LA Knight had supporters backstage. They had people siding with him over Vince McMahon.
And good, rightfully so.
They should.
Like, why change something that doesn't need to be changed? Like, you're changing him to fucking Max Dupree, and you're having him be a freaking manager for Mason Mansoor.
Right, hang on.
Anyways, I apologize for this interruption here, guys. I do. But look where this guy was in a year before, and look where he is now. It's just crazy to where he is now and how.
And he's very over. He's probably the most over guy in the company. In a roster with Roman, Cody, Punk, and he's up there as one of the over wrestlers.
And one of the top guys on the SmackDown brand too, and him winning the SummerSlam Slim Jim Battle Royal, and then sadly with Bray Wyatt passing, and him giving a beautiful tribute promo to Bray Wyatt, while also feuding with The Miz. He even got a feud with The Miz over going into Payback last year.
That's how good he is.
Yeah, and by the way, Miz is not Cockroach.
Well, The Miz would have gotten over regardless. He basically would have been. I mean, it's LA Knight and Miz, and they're fantastic, good mic workers.
Absolutely.
Of course, they would have gotten over.
And then LA Knight teams
basically Miz's best feud in like ages.
Yeah. Then LA Knight teams with John Cena at Fastlane, LA Knight, Roman Reigns, and Crown Jewel. I don't think they should have done it that soon, but you got LA Knight. I think now he's like still in the top, one of the top guys on SmackDown. Potential feud with AJ Styles. And I predict LA Knight's gonna face Logan Paul for the US title at WrestleMania 40. That's my prediction. Even LA Knight, Logan Paul, that summit it was the Raw for the men's Money in the Bank, where after when LA Knight was Logan Paul, Ricochet, and Shinsuke Nakamura in the ring, and LA Knight, Logan Paul's in the ring too, and LA Knight has like to Logan Paul, he makes videos for 14-year-old girls and wants to call himself a megastar here. Nah. Then he pulls out a map, and then he says that briefcase has my name on it, with everybody saying L.A. Knight. Yeah. Let me talk to you.
Because you're getting one ticket for getting stomped out.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah. Doing
know
like
what
the Ric Flair move,
you
but
can find
yeah.
out. By the making song, whatever everybody is saying. Night. Yeah.
Why? Because whose game is it? It's LA Knight's game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
2024
hell,
is
I
set to
mean,
be,
Adam Carl.
and
I mean, I
2024, I
know
would say
Adam,
he had a really good.
and I,
No, 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 let's not discuss it
and I
here.
know,
Let's not discuss it here. Let's not.
yeah, with Samantha Irvine.
I'm looking at you, Ricochet. I'm
Ooh,
looking at you.
he's not a cuck.
Hmm. Sure. Sure.
Ricochet's on Raw with his wife, and LA Knight's on SmackDown still.
Trying to eliminate your problems over there, Mr. Rick.
And then with Logan Paul, oh my God.
Yeah, but I say 2023 was really a good year for LA Knight. I mean, he's been in this business for like what 20 years.
Yeah,
He's been
yeah.
he's been in this game for a while.
And has paid his dues for years in TNA as Eli Drake, and then in MLW and NWA, and now he's in W. Then he goes to NXT in 2021 as LA Knight. And NXT, Wade Barrett's a big fan of him. As soon as he goes to NXT, Wade Barrett's a big fan of the megastar LA Knight. And then LA Knight is then on the main roster as a manager. Now he went back to then Triple H changed him back to LA Knight, and it was just up from there. Battles with Ricochet and LA Knight, and battles Ricochet and Bray Wyatt. Not LA Knight. Battles with Bray Wyatt.
Rey Mysterio,
Yeah, yeah,
Roman
yeah.
Reigns.
Mysterio. Yeah, battle Reigns as well. Battled the bloodline of Jimmy Uso
He
and
teamed
Solo.
up with Cena.
Yeah, teamed up with John Cena at Fastlane last year. He's only going to get better.
Yeah, I think 2024 will probably be his best year.
And no doubt he'll win that U.S. title from Logan Paul.
Yeah, I think he wins it at WrestleMania. I think he ends up becoming the U.S. champion at WrestleMania.
His first ever WrestleMania and his first ever title win in the company as a whole. He's never won the NXT title. If you don't want to count the $1 million title with Cameron Grimes at TakeOver 36, if you don't want to count that, he's never won any title in the WWE company as a whole, not even NXT.
Yeah.
This would be his first title win ever in the company, not just main roster, and his first ever WrestleMania. He wasn't on Mania 39. He was in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and he didn't even win it. But it would be his first Mania against Logan Paul. Moving on, category 9. Anthony, I think there we got the breakout female star of the year. We got Zoe Stark, Zelina Vega, Raquel Rodriguez, and Chelsea Green. We got Zoe Stark and Zelina Vega both winning at 50%, tied. Anthony, real quick, floor is yours.
I think the breakout would be like hands down maybe Zoe Stark.
Yeah, she was pretty good in NXT, and she's probably one of the best female talents they have on the roster today, and she's very good.
I mean, don't get me wrong with Zelina Vega. Like, I mean, she definitely grew. She was like the best ringside manager for Andrade El Idolo and during
who is
NXT.
no longer in AEW, who is eminently returning to WWE. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up as soon as SmackDown tonight, your News Revolution, and being back with Zelina Vega.
Yeah.
So that's something to look out for. Zelina also has gotten us slightly better since being with the LWO as well.
Yeah.
She fought Rhea Ripley in a decent match at Backlash in Puerto Rico for the SmackDown Women's title. That one too. Adam, what's your thoughts?
I could see this. I could definitely agree. Yeah. I would say I would go so more Zelina than Zoe. I mean, Zelina, I mean, I don't think she was really that bad in the ring, but she was like, she was nothing overly special initially in the ring. I mean, she's always been there for a while as a manager. I would say 2023 was like the year where she really stepped up her game as an in-ring performer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Especially when Rey Mysterio was feuding with the Judgment Day in early last year.
yeah, yeah. She stepped up big time, and I could see her like holding a championship someday. Honestly, if WWE ever introduces a women's mid card belt, I think they
They
really
should.
should. Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
should.
If they ever introduce it,
I don't know why we have the women's tag team titles when you could replace them with the women's mid card title. If I'm
yeah.
completely honest with all you
Honestly,
guys.
yeah. Honestly, a women's mid card title would work very well for someone like Zelina Vega.
Yeah,
In a division like where you have Io, you have Becky, you have Bailey, and you have Rhea and Bianca. All these women. I mean, in the title scene for the main women's championships, someone like Zelina Vega would benefit from a women's mid card championship, considering how
yeah,
over she is and that she's a very good performer in the ring.
yeah. People like
And
Zelina Vega, Zoe Stark, Tegan Knox, Shotzi,
yeah,
Candice LeRae, Liv Morgan,
Chelsea
Raquel
Green.
Rodriguez. Yeah, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven. Not everyone can be a women's world champion just yet, or not everyone can be a women's world champion, but introduce a women's mid card title and have them that be the workhorse title for the women before getting to the women's title or women's world title, just like you do with the men. And I would axe
Yeah.
the women's tag team titles. They're not prestigious. They're useless. They don't really mean anything. Even with Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, they are still not prestigious. They're not. I would axe the women's tag titles, and if you want like if you want a women's title and then the women's world title, and if you want another championship for the women, introduce the women's mid card title and have the women's mid card champion, whether it's a women's US or women's IC championship, and have the women's mid card champion float between both shows, and just axe the women's tag titles and replace it with a women's mid card title. That's what I would do. I would not do two women's mid card titles. Only do it when you have enough depth in both the Raw women's division, the SmackDown women's division.
There should only be one, really.
Yeah,
We don't need too many championships. That's the last.
Yeah.
That's too many championships. That's the last thing we need.
Yeah, Tony Khan and AEW have way too many titles, and now I'm hearing they want to introduce AEW women's tag team titles, which is an awful idea.
Surely he's just
Awful
joking.
idea.
Surely he's just joking.
I hope he is. That would be a terrible, terrible idea. We don't need that. We don't. Women's tag titles in WWE are useless. So it's like, do you think they'd be better but in AEW? Fuck no. Fuck no. And it's like the more titles you have in a company, the more titles you have, and Jim Ross has said it for years for the wrestling company, the more titles you have, the more championships you have, the less prestigious the previous said titles will be. And that's not a good look. This is why I think with the men's tag team titles, I'm hearing reports they want just in time before Mania 40 to split the Raw and SmackDown tag team titles. I would have just one set of tag team titles for the men. We don't need two sets of men's tag team titles. What's everyone's thoughts on that?
I do like
What's that? Yeah. Wait, hang on.
Your thoughts, Anthony?
I think good enough because roster separate tag divisions.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the more titles you have, the less prestigious they're going to be.
Yeah.
We don't need two men's tag team titles, that kind of such.
What? Wait, hang on.
Just axe the women's tag titles. Just burn them. Set up a bonfire. Burn the women's tag team titles.
Yeah. Like how much that one was like
Is your microphone working, Anthony?
um
Sorry to interrupt there, but my mic's working just fine.
yeah. I'm
in a big one right now.
But anyways, but yeah, less titles the better for a wrestling company. We don't need titles feeling less important.
yeah.
But anyways, next category, we're gonna move on here. I got this one. Male star to look out for in 2024. We got Santos Escobar, Dragon Lee, Ivar, and Bronson Reed. We got Dragon Lee winning 33.3% of the votes. Ivar and Bronson Reed get 0%. And winning this category with 66.7% is Santos Escobar. So Santos Escobar is the male star to look out for in 2024. No disrespect to the other guys who were in who were categories chosen to be categories, but I would say deserving Santos Escobar. He is a total package machismo star. He's definitely someone to look out for, especially when he feuds with Rey Mysterio this year going into Philly at WrestleMania 40. The guy is a star. The guy is a star, Santos Escobar. He's going to do big things this year.
Honestly, like LA Knight. Santos Escobar has been doing this for a very while.
And he's 39 years old. He's not a spring chicken at all.
Yeah, he's been in this business for decades.
And
he's been there for years.
And he's grown up in the business too.
Yeah.
Former NXT Cruiserweight champion and started his own group and led Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah.
Led Legado del Fantasma, Joaquin Wilde, and Cruz del
Toro. And he doesn't look even his age. He looks better than he doesn't even look his age.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And he's had battles with like Tony D'Angelo, Karrion Kross, JD McDonough, Kushida, and NXT. He's battled Dragon Lee lately. He's going to wrestle Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania 40 in Philly. And you have Santos Escobar with the Lucha Libre in his own image, and Rey Mysterio being one of the greatest Lucha Libre luchadors of all time, and Santos creating it in his own image of Lucha and Lucha Libre. And I like it. It's a great thing to see. And Santos, a great presence, great look, very good wrestler, very good promo, charisma. He is better as a heel than
confidence.
A face. Yes, confidence, personality, character. He just has that machismo. He just oozes that machismo charisma. Like he dresses like a star, looks like a star. Guy's gonna go far in the WWE end of this business for years to come. Mark my words. And when Rey Mysterio eventually retires and doesn't wrestle anymore, I can see Santos taking that throne of King of Lucha Libre. And such a good presence, and he is a better heel than a face, by the way. And I really like the promo that he cut on Rey Mysterio the week after he turned on Rey. I know you loved it, Adam Carl. I know you liked it, Anthony.
It was fantastic. It was music.
Well, as much as you despise Rey Mysterio, Adam, he's not a fraud.
He took Santos Escobar's opportunity from him.
With the U.S. title against Logan Paul.
He stole his opportunities.
No, he didn't. And he screwed Rey Mysterio at Crown Jewel wrongfully. When Logan Paul cheated.
No, he won fair and square.
Yeah. But, yeah, I know Anthony, he's a big fan of Logan Paul, by the way.
Oh, I hate that.
We all are.
I hate Logan Paul. I hate Logan Paul.
Oh man, you said you said the U.S. title is the only title he'll come close to.
Damn straight.
But Rey Mysterio was a great U.S. champion. But by the way, Adam, he did not.
So great. He's
not the guy to steal thunder from Santos Escobar. He would choose Santos Escobar over Carlito.
How well did that go?
He did not make Dominic Mysterio's life hell for 2 decades.
He did.
Dominic Guerrero, not Mysterio. Yeah, it was a Mysterio.
He ruined Dominic's life for 20 years. He stole Santos Escobar's opportunity. He chose Carlito over his own partner.
To be honest, like
no wonder he's in the hospital.
Like to be honest, like Rey Mysterio did it to himself. He kidnapped Dominic from Eddie, and then he tried to ruin. He tried to get away with Dominic's potential.
Well, Ray can't catch a break though, according to some.
He shouldn't.
But Dominic ruined his Thanksgiving. He wasn't going to ruin his Christmas either at his parents' house. in 2022,
Mhm.
and Dominic drove raid for raid to hit his own son.
No, Mysterio was a beta male. How do you get beat up? How do you get beat up by a 25-year-old kid? How are you older? How are you 20 years older than a rookie? And you refuse to lay your hands on him while he's bullying you.
And then you'd say, Adam, there's a reason why Ray ended up in the hospital at Survivor Series War Games, and Dominic, I gotta say it, Mysterio was in War Games. I know you'll say.
Mysterios do not lay in hospitals.
And then
There's a reason Rey Mysterio's in the hospital while Dominic Guerrero is fighting the likes of CM Punk and main eventing Survivor Series.
Well, I mean in the not in the hospital, not very Mysterio there, you'd say. Outside of the no mask and he's dating a muscular woman storyline wise and Rhea Ripley, he has a mullet, long hair.
He's taller.
Yes. And Dominic was wrong about and even in Raw in San Diego Day 1 this past Monday, Dominic was booed out of the building in his hometown on Miz TV.
A travesty. Show some respect.
And the crowd was not rude and disrespectful towards Dominic.
No, he's their hero. You should cheer him. He doesn't take away opportunities. He's not in it for himself. He's not a deadbeat.
Oh my God. Oh man. But yeah, Santos Escobar deservingly of this, in my opinion.
Good on Santos Escobar for doing the right thing.
Yeah. Santos. He cut a bad promo saying he hoped Ray caught an infection, and Michael Cole, he can't stand him, and now he catches a break. He's now exclusive to Raw. Well, Michael Cole still has to deal with Dominic.
There's a reason for that.
Well, Michael Cole's not the one to play politics to get away from Santos.
Well, listen, if Michael Cole wants to get his break from Dominic, maybe he's only commentating from SmackDown instead of Raw.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, we got moving on. Female star to look out for in 2024. Adam, you got this one.
Female wrestler to look out for in 2024. Tegan Knox, Ivy Nile, Piper Niven, and Dakota Kai. Tegan Knox wins this in a close battle with Ivy Nile.
The Pitbull.
Yeah. Also, I would say either Dakota Kai or Tegan Knox are the one to look out. I mean, all of them basically. We have to, Tegan, Ivy, Piper, and Dakota we look out for in 2024. Yeah. I think they're gonna get a big spotlight this year.
Yeah, Dakota Kai definitely with the Damage Control when Bailey's kicked out of Damage Control.
Yeah. I would say you could say all of them. If there was all of the above as a poll here, as a vote, I would have voted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tegan Knox is a justifiable winner.
Yeah, she she was on TV on SmackDown at the beginning of the year, then she was drafted to Raw, then she was off TV for months, then you'd think with Endeavor they would release her. No. She could have got released. She survived it. Then with Ari Emanuel knighting Triple H 100%, and when that happened, when Becky Lynch was NXT Women's Champion, you knew. And then I think I read a story. Becky wanted to work with her.
Yeah, Becky wanted to work with Tegan. Basically, she was. I think the story was that she was upset that Tegan was pulled from the show.
Yeah, I think that was right before Ari knighted Triple H, and it was supposed to be Becky and Tegan, but then I think Vince changed it to Becky versus Natalia. And
the match went 3 minutes. 3 minutes for your new NXT Women's Champion. What an accomplishment. What a way to showcase your biggest star on the show.
Against Jim Anvil Neidhart's daughter.
Yes, instead of a fresh match, let's book Natalia. No disrespect to her, by the way. This is not a slander. She's a sweetheart in real life.
She is,
yeah. But really? of all the people you could have chosen, Natalia, and the match was 3 minutes.
She's
In
been
a
there
match
for
that she was
15, she's been there for 15 years. Show her respect and credibility. She's a good wrestler, but in terms of the charisma department, charisma vacuum. Charisma vacuum, Natalia.
So, like, yeah. Then the match happened. I think Tegan and Becky happened the next week.
Yeah, they had a segment where Tegan was
Yeah.
pulled. Vince changed the match to Becky versus Natalia instead. The next week on Raw, I think that was the week our United Triple H. Becky was in a backstage segment with Tegan Knox, and they actually played that into a storyline where Tegan was changed to Natalia, where Tegan got changed to Natalia with Becky Lynch match. And they played the storyline with that, where Becky Lynch was the champion and Tegan went to her in the back. And Becky kind of lit a fire under Tegan, saying, you got to step on some goat toes. You got to claim your worth. And I want you after NXT No Mercy. I want you in a match with me defending my title against you. Becky said to Tegan.
And they had a really good match.
Becky was telling Tegan that, and Tegan was telling Becky that she let Natty walk all over, and then Becky's like, you can't do that. Then that night, Becky was on commentary with Natty versus Tegan, and Tegan actually won 4 minutes, but the match was pretty decent, and Tegan got some good reaction, and she won clean. Sally was impressive. Then Becky versus Tegan on Raw for the NXT Women's title. Tegan took Becky to the limit, almost won. It was very good, and Tegan looked very good in defeat with the disarmer. She looked very good. And I can see Tegan doing some good things in 2024. She'd be perfect for a women's mid-card championship if they ever introduce one. She'd be perfect for that.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
For real.
And now you got Tegan Knox tagging with Natalia. I don't see it lasting long. Natalia loses to Tegan Knox, then all of a sudden you want to befriend Tegan Knox.
Funny.
I can see Natalia turning on her. I think I can see it happening. But, Ivy Niles are pretty impressive since being called. She was impressive in NXT. She's impressive on Raw. She does need work on mic skills and charisma, but over time, I think she'll get better. And then we got the next category 12, Tag Team of the Year. I know Anthony's not here right now, but we'll move on anyways. Tag Team of the Year.
What was that?
Oh, are you back? Finally. Oh, great. So we actually got category number 12 for you, Anthony. You got Tag Team of the Year, my friend. We got Imperium. We got the Creed brothers. We got the Usos and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Category 12. We got a winner by a landslide. Two guys who main evented. Well, two guys. One out of the two main evented Mania twice in Los Angeles and in Texas.
Oh, the Usos, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens.
Well, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens won Tag Team of the Year.
Yeah, I would say that Tag Team of the Year, knocking off the Usos has been who've been the longest undisputed tag team champions.
They have, man. Almost 2 years.
And to defeat someone who has that long reign is very hard. It's not easy.
No. And the tag team titles never main eventing a WrestleMania before, which was a great, beautiful thing to witness and see.
Yeah, it was even something different.
And also, Sammy and Kevin, best friends in real life. It's like you're winning the tag team titles with your best friend in the main event of WrestleMania. Really great feel-good moment. And Sami Zayn's first ever time main eventing a WrestleMania. And Kevin Owens' only second time main eventing. After main eventing 38 with Stone Cold on night one. Which was great.
And the first for the Usos.
Yes, for Jay and Jimmy. And this was the match of the year. Fun main event. This deserved the main event of WrestleMania 39, night 1 and 7. And Sammy and Kevin won the tag.
Kenny
Yeah.
Owens.
Yeah, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn
What a
winning
fantastic
the
name that would be for him.
Yeah, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens winning the tag team titles for the first time together on the main roster. This was great, and I think they deserve tag team of the year. I did put the Usos in there, though they broke up at SummerSlam 2023. The Creeds, I mean, they were in NXT. Then when I called up to Raw late 2023, then Imperium. I think that this deserves to go to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. What's everyone's thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely believe Debbie and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens definitely like they'll knock off the world's longest tag team championship reign. Like it's definitely historic.
It is. And where that bloodline story was when Sami Zayn was in the bloodline before leaving or getting kicked out.
Yeah.
Especially with Royal Rumble 2023 when Sami hit Roman in the back with the steel chair. At the ending of the 2023 Royal Rumble, which was
They were integral. All four of them, Usos, Sami, KO, they were very integral in the Bloodline storyline.
Then he added Solo
Sikoa. Yeah, and a very emotional, very, it basically hit your soul like story.
It was the best thing going in 2022 for WWE as well.
Yeah.
So
an absolutely piece of magic, an incredible story. You got Sami, the honorary Usi. He isn't really like Samoan.
No.
He wants friends around him.
You got Roman to break character with Jay not feeling very Usi.
Yeah. He finally gets accepted to the bloodline. Kevin Owens tries to warn him that they were going to turn on Sami, that they don't care for him.
Then you got the tribal court on the Raw 30th anniversary. Oh, look, there's a cat there. See, Anthony's got. Yes, Anthony has cats.
Yeah.
He has cats. Though I'm more of a dog guy, but I don't hate cats either.
Got my cat.
And the cat's away from the camera.
Yeah. Yeah, she's getting kind of antsy. She's getting antsy. Does that go?
Yeah, oh boy. Anyways, but where were we? Sami Zayn.
Then you got Sami choosing. Basically, you got Sami choosing his best friend, his brother in arms, over.
And then the Raw.
Oh, I think everyone froze.
What's going on?
Nick, I think you're frozen.
Yeah, I'm going to try again.
Yeah.
How about now?
It could be my end. Because I have my Wi-Fi.
Probably. It's fine, I guess, right now. But anyways, we'll get through this pretty quick so problem doesn't get worse with the internet. But anyways, tag team of the year, yeah. And then Sami choosing Kevin at the Rumble, which was a great moment with Roman getting hit in the back with a chair by Sami. And then, obviously, Sami and Kevin Usos main eventing Mania 39 Night 1. I think it's
the first tag team match in WWE history to main event WrestleMania since Piper and Orndorff, God rest their souls, against Hogan and Mr. T.
Yeah. And Madison Square Garden in 1985, WrestleMania 1.
Yeah, the first WrestleMania. And the very first ever tag team title match, the main event at WrestleMania.
Great thing to see now, and almost being 40 years old, WrestleMania. This was a great thing to see, and definitely made history. Both Sami, Evan, Jay, and Jimmy all made history.
Yeah, it was incredible. Yeah, if any, they really earned that spot. The way they were the guys they were the focal point of WWE for a year up to that point,
and definitely in terms of long-term storytelling and long-term booking.
Yeah. If there were any match that deserved a WrestleMania main event, it was this match.
Absolutely. 100%.
I mean, any other matches that you could have made the case for Rhea versus Charlotte maybe to main event, Dominic and Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the tag team title match was just too good to not main event. It was just too good. It had the main event.
Charlotte and Rhea was good for the SmackDown Women's title, but Sammy and Kevin and Usos deserved it more.
It made the most sense, the main event.
It did. Even though Rhea won the Rumble, the Sammy and Kevin Usos match.
I think it froze again. Nick, I think you're frozen.
The hell?
It could be my end because I have like my ear is bad for like Wi-Fi. I think.
Hello.
Hello.
You there?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Oh, thank God. Okay. Sorry, we almost had a technical difficulty there, but anyways, I got the next category, 13. We're almost done here. Category 13, Stable of the Year. The Judgment Day, the Bloodline, Damage Control, and LWO. Judgment Day win this by 80%, the Bloodline 20, Damage Control and LWO 0. So Judgment Day wins Stable or Faction of the Year. Before, hopefully this doesn't freeze out again, and probably get this done quick before anything bad happens. So we'll run through this quick. I apologize, guys, for these technical difficulties. I do.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to get your guys' thoughts on the Judgment Day winning Faction of the Year or Stable of the Year.
I mean, I think it's David Judgment Day because they're more stable. Like nothing's really shaky. They get everything done.
Yeah, and they've saved careers, especially Dominic's. Rhea in 2022 and early 2022 was directionless, going nowhere. Finn Balor was going nowhere. They did kick Edge out of his own. They did kick Edge out, Adam Copeland out of his own faction, but since Triple H took over, Judgment Day was a top priority, and look where they are now.
They were going to do Vince McMahon was going to do supernatural stuff with the Judgment Day.
Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. Edge said it on the Sam Roberts podcast that they wanted them to flow or do voodoo or whatever, some kind of shit like that. Awful.
They were going to have Edge fly to the ring as if he was a bird. As if he was a fucking, as if he was a bird.
I
wonder what kind of magic Davey Priest would have done.
Satanic shit they're trying to do.
And this is why it's happy and a good thing that Vince McMahon is not in creative and will never get creative in the creative team ever again. Will never be part of creative ever again.
Yeah.
Thank God he's not. Thank God Vince McMahon's not in charge anymore. Thank God.
Thank God this never saw the light of day.
Vince and Bruce wanted them to be more spooky, more more spooky and spitting out voodoo and like float and shit. And Edge said, no, this doesn't make sense. Why do this? This is not a good idea. And Edge was right. It doesn't make fucking sense. And look where Judgment Day is now. They're the top faction on Raw, top faction in the company after the Bloodline crumbled. They're now the number one faction in the WWE as a whole, the Judgment Day. Rhea has gotten a lot more confident in herself. Dominic, he was a bland babyface with no character, no charisma. Now in the Judgment Day, he's done so much better. Damian Priest has come into his own. He's now Mr. Money in the Bank. Him and Balor are tag team champions. Balor has done really well. JD McDonough, the guy who was trained by Finn Balor, is now in the group. I think it's deserving.
Yeah. I also have Dominic was former North American champion.
Yeah.
All should rise for the Judgment Day.
Join them.
You see, the bloodline
they rise to the occasion.
The bloodline has fallen, but the Judgment Day has risen. And unlike the bloodline, we get the job done.
Judgment Day rise to the occasion.
And Rhea was even very convincing of Drew McIntyre in the War Games with the Judgment Day. And Rhea Ripley is very convincing.
Yeah, she's very persuasive.
Yes. Is mommy, Rhea Ripley.
And to be honest, if Rhea Ripley came out to me and George Judgment Day, I think I'll say yes, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, hell, the Judgment Day, they saved Dominic Mysterio's career. Look at where he was before Clash of the Castle in Cardiff in 2022. Bland
Stop
baby
saying
face.
Mysterio.
But he is a Mysterio. And I know you'd say,
Shut up. Don't get brainwashed.
I know you'd say, Adam, who the hell's Dominic Mysterio? I'd love to know who he is.
Is he a guy who runs McDonald's?
Well, he doesn't sell McChickens like JD McDonough or JD McDonald's.
I mean, is Dominic Mysterio a chef at the Waffle House or something?
Well, remember the 8-year-old kid from the build to SummerSlam 2005 with Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio and their ladder match for the custody of Dominic?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure that I have some investigation that is Dominic Mysterio. That is Rey Mysterio's son.
Get out here with the Mysterio.
And I know you'd say, Adam, no, that's not him.
Guerrero. He looks nothing like Rey Mysterio. No resemblance at all. It's like, get the fuck out of here, going Mysterio.
I got two guys here. Tell me he's not a Mysterio.
Maybe you should listen.
Got two guys.
We're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. You need to listen to us and start calling him a Guerrero like this instant.
But look at where Dominic was before the Judgment Day. What was the character, Adam, that Dominic had before joining the Judgment Day?
I'm happy to be here. I'm Rey Mysterio's son. He's not.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be here. This is what I've always wanted to do.
To be honest, I think Dominic Mysterio. Well, I think Dominic Guerrero. I think Dominic was brainwashed to be Rey Mysterio's son. I think he was brainwashed by Rey.
Anthony, did I hear you say Dominic Mysterio? No.
No, I corrected myself. I call him Guerrero.
Okay,
I corrected myself.
Okay, I'll give you that. But Judgment Day deserving of Faction of the Year at the end of the day here, folks.
Wait, hang on.
We got
Guerrero, not Mysterio. Get out of here with Mysterio.
Well, I don't see the Rey Mysterio mask on him. I don't see it.
To be honest, Rey Mysterio doesn't have a mullet, does he?
Well, he wore the Rey Mysterio mask at the 2023 Royal Rumble to Dominic.
Yeah, and Dominic rejected.
But next faction, Adam. This is you, Adam. NXT Male of the Year. You got this one.
It's a tie.
Yes.
It was a tie between Carmelo Hayes and
here in these categories too, folks.
Yeah. Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, and Wes Lee. It was a tie between. Honestly, any of them could have won. Again, any of them could have won. They all had very good years. Wesley was like the workhorse with the NXT North American Championship. An incredible reign. Carmelo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, Braun Breaker, fantastic. Braun Breaker's heel run, basically, he's a natural at that role. Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov, they had their trilogy. That was basically fantastic. Carmelo Hayes had a very good NXT title reign. But it was a draw between Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker. What's going on now? Derek!
See if that works.
Oh, you froze again?
It froze by Twitch internet connection. I'm hoping to pray, oh God, this fucking works.
Who is glitching you? Who's glitching you?
Who knows? It could be my end because my ear is bad.
If some parts that we said in this video get cut out because of frozen shit, I sincerely apologize, and I'm hoping to God the end of this video doesn't come out real. I hope to God at the end of this video it doesn't.
Oh, it froze again. It might be my end because I live in a bad area.
No, there's nothing wrong with you.
Oh, okay. I was about to say because my area was known for spy Wi-Fi. I don't know what to do now.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. So you were saying NXT Male of the Year. There's a tie with Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, I think Braun Breaker, Kamala Hayes, or maybe Ilya Dragunov, maybe in that picture.
Well, Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes both won NXT Male of the Year, deservedly though. With Braun Breaker's heel work and heel turn, and then Carmelo Hayes, what he's done with the NXT Championship.
Yeah. Yeah. Any of the four could have won. I mean Wesley.
Yeah.
I mean Braun Breaker Braun Breaker, Kamala Hayes. Like there are two guys to. If you also want to say guys to look out for in 2024, it's those guys as well.
And when Breaker and Hayes eventually hit the main roster, I can easily see them main eventing WrestleMania against each other one day in the future.
They are the two top guys. They were basically when NXT 2.0 became a thing. They were basically the two top guys. Basically,
they're like Batista and Cena.
Yeah. I think.
Not to say they're Batista and Cena, but
yeah, in a way they're like that. Like they're the number one, number two. They're two guys fighting for that number one spot.
Yeah.
They wrestled at the Stand and Deliver, and at WrestleMania weekend, a fantastic match.
And when they hit the main roster, you can only imagine what Triple H has in store for them. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward
to
the
destined
future.
To do this.
Hayes.
I could see them as two guys who are destined to fight forever.
Yeah.
Two guys that will be that you see. Two guys that will be the faces of the company for years to come.
Absolutely, man. We got NXT Female of the Year for category 15. Mr. Anthony, I think this is yours as well if you're still there. If he's not, we'll move on. NXT Female of the Year, Tiffany Stratton, Lyra Valkyria, Blair Davenport, and Roxanne Perez. The winner this by a landslide, 100%, Tiffany Stratton. Again, deservedly. This is a no-brainer. Outside of her losing the NXT Women's title to Becky Lynch when she came back from an injury, and she has just been killing it. Won the NXT Women's title, beat Lyra Valkyria in late May of 2023. I think it was. I think because I don't watch NXT much, but it was a tournament final. Beat Lyra Valkyria, who's the current NXT Women's Champion. Tiffany Stratton's not been doing this wrestling for that long, and she's come a long way. You can only imagine what she'll do when she hits the main roster, and she's ready. I mean,
like Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes, she's one to look out for. One of their future stars that will carry the company.
A lot of these NXT people are, even like Axiom, Nathan Frazier, Tyler Bate, guys like them. Ilya Dragunov's another guy. Blair Davenport.
I think Trick Williams is another guy.
Yeah. Kiana James, Roxanne Perez.
You also have Nikita Lyons.
Yeah, Nikita Lyons. I can't forget Nikita Lyons, man. She's another one to look out for. Lots of potential. So, again, deserving of Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes winning. That was the previous category. Deserving of Tiffany Stratton to win NXT Female Star of the Year. She has like one of the best moonsaults in the business, and I can absolutely see her main eventing a WrestleMania, and her versus Charlotte would be pretty good. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton and Bayley, or Becky Lynch again if they want to redo that, but on a bigger stage. And this time Tiffany beats Becky, or Tiffany Stratton versus like a Io Sky Battle of the Moonsaults, Tiffany Stratton versus Kairi Sane, or anyone on the main roster, really. So the future is bright for Tiffany Stratton, and at so young, she's this young and she's this good. Imagine how good she'll be when she hits 30.
So that'll be even better.
Absolutely. She's definitely one of the future pieces of the company for many years to come. She is one of many. We got the next category. This is me. NXT. Speaking of NXT, NXT Call Up of the Year. We got Dragon Lee. We got Grayson Waller. We got JD McDonough, and then we got Pretty Deadly, which is a tag team of Elton Prince and Kit Wilson, former NXT and NXT UK tag team champions. Pretty Deadly. Winning this category is Dragon Lee with 66.7% of the votes. Grayson Waller with 33.3%, and Pretty Deadly and JD McDonough with 0. Dragon Lee wins this category for NXT Call Up of the Year. I would say yes, more than deserving, man. This guy was signed at the end of 2022. He was a free agent. I thought he was signed to AEW, but he was a free agent. He did wrestle in the AEW Trios tournament in the summer of 2022, I believe. Teaming with Roosh and Andrade, Ali Little.
Yeah, I think he teamed up with Roosh and Andrade. I think during the Trios title tournament.
Yes. Then Dragon Lee, I thought he would sign with AEW. He was a free agent, but he signed with WWE at the end of 2022 in December that year. He signs with NXT. He comes in, immediately makes a big impact. He even wrestled. It was right after the 2023 draft on NXT when after JD McDonough was drafted to Raw, he fought Dragon Lee in a very good match, a one-on-one match on NXT. Dragon Lee then wrestled at Stand and Deliver, involving the North American title. He's wrestled Dominic. He's wrestled Wesley. He's wrestled Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes. Dragon Lee wrestled Dominic for the NXT North American title on Raw. Then he wrestled Austin Theory on SmackDown. Then he got called up to the SmackDown brand. He's been feuding with Santos Escobar, having banger matches with Santos Escobar, and also involved in this Santos Escobar Rey Mysterio story where Dragon Lee is like the successor to Rey Mysterio, and I can see where that is coming from right there, because you look at Dragon Lee, it's like you get vibes of like the 02 younger Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio is not going to be. He's one of the greatest of all time, but like joking aside about Rey Mysterio, he's one of the greatest of all time, and 2023 Hall of Famer. He's not talent, and being almost 50 and moving great for his age doesn't move or look like he's 50. He moves like half his age. Let's be real. But he's not. But despite all that, he's not going to be wrestling forever. And when Rey Mysterio eventually decides to call it a career and retire, I can absolutely see the next guy to fill that massive Lucha Libre spot. I can see that being Dragon Lee.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think Rey Mysterio, I think the age might come to him like sooner than ever. You know, I think his age might catch up to him like eventually.
Yeah, it was just his English needs work on, but he's getting better in English a little bit. No, over time.
There's a reason why they paired him up with Ray.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's not in the LWO, but he's like I wouldn't say outsider, but he's like involved because him and Ray both wear masks. They're both part of the Mexican Lucha Libre heritage, as far as the mask goes.
And also Axiom is not like Max one.
Yeah, the former A-Kid from NXT. He's another one I think is ready for the main roster. He even wrestled from NXT, even wrestled the SmackDown match not long ago with Dragon Lee. That was a very good match as well. Very underrated match. Dragon Lee also versus Cedric Alexander a couple times. They fought. Was very, very good. Dragon Lee is destined to do greatness on SmackDown in the main roster. I think he is going to have a very good and fruitful 2024, and he's the current NXT North American champion despite being on the main roster on SmackDown. He is the successor to Rey Mysterio, and I do agree with that. Like Rey Mysterio was in 02 when he was younger. I can absolutely see that with Dragon Lee, and he's like, I think he's 29, and he's very good. And he was a good pickup for WWE with Triple H. And Triple H just treated him pretty well. And it's like you said with Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes, Adam, destined to fight forever. Another one destined to fight forever, Santos Escobar and Dragon Lee.
Absolutely, man.
Like, you're looking for an next Rey Mysterio, it's Dragon Lee. When Rey, I mean, Rey Mysterio is a one of a kind, but if you're looking like a next Rey Mysterio, look no further than Dragon Lee. I think Dragon Lee's your guy. We got the next category. Adam, this is your final category. Champion of the Year.
Gunther, the Ring General.
Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah. Seth Rollins, World Heavyweight Champion. Roman Reigns, the undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion. And Rhea Ripley, the final vote. Yeah.
The Women's World Champion.
And the winner, and this is 100% facts, the right winner, the Ring General, Gunther.
Gunther.
Absolutely the right call. Absolutely.
No doubt.
I said it before. I said it, I think, earlier. I think Gunther, he's been so good. He's always been fantastic, really. But, Gunther, he's on a level above everyone else. He's made the Intercontinental Championship, I would say, for my money, he's made the Intercontinental Championship the most valuable championship in the entire company.
If you were to say that compared with the Raw Champions, Gunther, and IC Champion, Rollins World Heavyweight Champ, if you were to tell me that the IC title feels more like the world title is like the world title, I would not disagree with you or argue you.
Honestly, that's how good Gunther. I mean, no disrespect. I mean, this is not a slander on Rollins or Reigns. I mean, they're fantastic. Two of the greatest.
Though Roman's been part-time and has never been on TV much for 2023.
Yeah, but Gunther, he took the IC title was irrelevant for years. For years, Vince McMahon did not give a single shit about the Intercontinental Championship. No. Can all agree with me.
Absolutely agree with you.
Gunther takes the Intercontinental Championship.
Look where it was in 2020 with Braun Strowman.
Oh my. Yeah, Gunther, when he wins the Intercontinental Championship, he basically takes the championship from bottom of the barrel to for my money, the most valuable title in the company. It's at a level where it feels like a world championship.
Yeah.
From his storylines to his matches, his presence, how he gets people invested. Gunther has elevated that championship to a level where it feels like it's the championship to fight for.
Yeah, and it's an even bigger deal when Gunther loses that IC title, and Gunther's undefeated on the main roster, has not been pinned once or submitted once on the main roster. The guy who beats Gunther not only gives Gunther his first loss on the main roster, but also beats the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. A star is truly born. That whoever is the guy that beats Gunther for the IC title.
Yeah, whoever beats me is going to be a made man.
Absolutely, whether it be Chad Gable or anybody on the Raw roster, Ivar, Bronson Reed, or whoever is fighting Gunther and has a chance, and who should be the guy to beat Gunther, who was at closer at his level. And I'd always say, whoever, like, when you're a champion, they're that good, you don't take the title off them. When you have someone close to somebody's level or close to that level or higher than that level, then you can take the title off them. Like, Gunther's so good now, there's no reason to take the title off him right now at all.
There were points where you could have taken the championship off of him, really, and sent him to the main event. There were a couple of times where you could have taken the belt off him.
Yeah. I would think Chad Gable and Gunther for the IC title at WrestleMania 40, or if you want Gunther to lose the title, IC title post WrestleMania 40. If you want to do Brock Lesnar and Gunther for the IC title at WrestleMania 40, and that'd be a big dream match, and that'd be like, it's like, you have Gunther win against the Beast and Garnet, dude. I think Gunther's been very vocal. He really wants to wrestle Brock Lesnar.
Claims Brock Lesnar is the final boss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's his final boss.
The
honestly, I can see Gunther versus Lesnar. Really, Lesnar's gonna be back in time for Mania.
Yeah, I can see him being in Philly for WrestleMania 40.
Yeah, I honestly could see Lesnar versus Gunther. For my money, I honestly, if you want to make Gunther that, make him like the new final boss of WWE, have him go through Brock Lesnar.
And Lesnar, a guy who's always been fighting for world titles, never fought for a mid-card title, but the IC title shouldn't be looked at as mid-card. It should be looked at as more than that at this point, ever since it's been elevated by Gunther. and ever since Triple H has taken over creative. It shouldn't be looked at as just the mid-card act. It's more than that at this point.
Yeah, Gunther is elevated to a main event championship.
So it's like some people think, oh, Lesnar's a big-time guy. Why are you putting him in a mid-card shit thing? It's not a mid-card shit thing. It's not. First of all, Gunther's one of the most legit guys, and he's brought the title, like you said, ICE title to relevancy, whereas beforehand it didn't mean shit. And Gunther versus Lesnar is two bulls going at it. It's like they even had an interaction briefly in the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble. Did Brock Lesnar and Gunther for a little bit, and people were invested. Like it got people's eyes. Lesnar, Gunther, that's Mania written all over it. Book it and have Gunther go over the Beast Brock Lesnar, and Lesnar puts him over big.
I can't even see him in the World Cup.
Beating Lesnar would do so much for Gunther's career. Brock Lesnar, like he rarely loses. There's only like a handful of guys that who Brock Lesnar chooses to put over.
One of them being
Cody. Cody. Like a Cody, Roman Reigns. But Brock Lesnar, he has that aura about him of a final boss.
Even Bobby
beat him. Yeah,
and also
Brock Lesnar has that aura about him. That Brock Lesnar, a badass. He has that aura about him of he's when he's there, shit's about to go down.
He has that legitimacy factor. He has that legitimacy factor where he's on something. It's a big deal. He's not someone to take lightly. When he's on, it's like you pay attention, and especially when he grabs the mic and he talks, you absolutely listen to that man talk.
Yeah.
Like he commands attention. When he speaks, you listen. Like when he speaks, you stop what you're doing, put your phone down, and you watch the man, listen to the man speak. That's what the amount of stuff that Lesnar brings to the table. And a win over Lesnar for Gunther at WrestleMania 40 would put a lot of steam behind Gunther, more than ever before that it already is now.
It would be a huge deal.
It would be God level. It would be like Gunther God levels if he beats Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gunther, and it basically, he puts him at a high level. It makes him look like the new final boss. Yeah, Gunther basically took the IC title from the brink of irrelevancy. No one gives a shit about it. And now years later, here he is as the Intercontinental Champion defending against Brock Lesnar, who rarely, if ever, challenges for mid-card belts.
And Brock Lesnar wrestled Omos at WrestleMania 39 Night 2. That match wasn't all that good. This should be a lot better than that match, Brock Lesnar and Gunther. And Lesnar beat Omos, but Lesnar versus Gunther, I think Lesnar, with Triple H in charge, if this was Vince in charge, Lesnar wouldn't put Gunther over. But with Triple H in charge, I can see Gunther going over Brock. And Brock wouldn't need the IC title either.
Basically, all he needs is challenge the champion for the championship.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar is basically he's bigger than the belt. Yeah. He can win it. Then basically, if he wins, he can relinquish it like immediately. But it's not like he needs the IC belt.
Right. But just a match with Lesnar alone, if you're the IC champion, makes the IC title look like a big deal.
Yeah, and it's at WrestleMania. And you put that at WrestleMania? Yeah.
Absolutely. It'd probably be a bigger deal than, and no, this is no disrespect to Drew, Sheamus, and Gunther with WrestleMania 39 Night 2 last year, but this would be even a bigger deal than it was last year. This is a good thing. I would absolutely book Brock Lesnar and Gunther for WrestleMania 40 if I was booking it. If I was booking the WrestleMania 40 card. That's one of the matches I would put on the card for one of the nights.
Me too.
We got the Category 18, Anthony. This is you. This is your final category. The moment of the year, Anthony. We got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens main eventing WrestleMania. Io Sky cashing in Money in the Bank at SummerSlam 2023 in Detroit at Ford Field. The Rock and Pat McAfee returning in the same night on SmackDown against Austin Theory. And then Rey Mysterio heading Dominic before WrestleMania 39. After Dominic Mysterio told his mother to shut up, and then Rey Mysterio hit his son. And I think this one, winner of this category, is Sami and Kevin main eventing at WrestleMania. What are your thoughts on this, and who do you think deserved this? And do you think this deserved the win?
I think it definitely is because Sammy and Kevin's story was so telling. You know, they had chemistry back when they were at NXT years ago,
Yeah,
and like how like Kevin turned on Sammy, and then but then when Sammy joined Bloodline, he kind of turned on Kevin.
yeah. They were
So
destined to fight forever too.
yeah,
I would say, yeah, deserving. I mean, Io Sky cashing in was a good moment, but I would think Sammy and Kevin main eventing was a bigger moment.
yeah,
I think
It's a special moment.
it is because, like I said, you're main eventing WrestleMania with your best friend. It doesn't happen all that often.
Yeah. And it's for the tag team
And like,
title, the first time ever the tag team titles were main evented at WrestleMania. And basically in the hottest storyline in the entire company.
yeah, 5 years ago, this would not even be a thought.
This would never happen under Vince McMahon.
And if it was on the card, it would happen on the first match of the night.
It would have been in the mid card.
Yeah. So this was a great moment for Kevin Owens main eventing his second Mania in a row. For Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn main eventing his first ever Mania along with Jimmy and Jey Uso. Overall, I thought that was great and a deserving win or W for moment of the year, and just the culmination of the storyline with Sami and the Bloodline, just long-term booking and storytelling, just like the culmination of the story was just perfect, great. Epitome of long-term storytelling and booking, which Triple H brings to the table. Everyone's thoughts on that, real quick.
I would say it was the right move. It was the right winner.
yeah. I'd say it was too.
Yeah. And then last but not least, we got the final category 19, Rivalry of the Year. We got Rey Mysterio versus Dominic, Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, Ricochet and Logan Paul, and then the Judgment Day versus Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn going into War Games. We got a tie here. 2 winners. The Judgment Day versus Cody, Seth, Jey, and Sami, and then Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio.
Honestly, for my
When Rey
money, the
hit it.
Bloodline would have won this. Honestly, for my money, the Bloodline was the best storyline all year. You know, at least with like Sammy, KO, with the Usos, and with Roman in it, and Cody being in it.
Yeah, they're an honorary mention though, because the
Yeah.
reason I didn't put them in was because of them just when Jay left and Jimmy left and Jimmy went back in. It's kind of like the early part, like in May of the year. It's honorary. But Dominic and Ray, they had a year story as well where Dominic turned on Ray in Cardiff. Then Rey Mysterio wouldn't fight his son, and then Ray went to Triple H, said I quit, and Triple H got Rey Mysterio traded over to SmackDown for Baron Corbin. And Ray was away from his son on the different show SmackDown. Ray thought he could catch a break, and then Dominic and Rhea came to Rey Mysterio's house on Thanksgiving night. They beat up Ray. They took him out. Ray wouldn't let his son in the house for Thanksgiving, and then on Christmas at Rey Mysterio's parents' house, and then Dominic getting arrested on Christmas Eve at Dominic's grandparents' house. I mean, Dominic gave his grandpa a hug, and Angie and Ray told Dominic to leave the house. And then Dominic getting arrested. And you say wrongfully arrested, Adam.
Wrongfully. Disgraceful.
Well, he came to the house uninvited.
He was hugging his grandparents.
He was trying to ruin Rey Mysterio's Christmas like he ruined Rey Mysterio's Thanksgiving.
No, he was hugging his grandparents for Christmas.
But
Rey Mysterio should have been the one arrested.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio
should have been arrested, not Dominic.
He should be arrested for assaulting a minor.
Dominic pushed Ray.
Yeah, because Rey Mysterio wouldn't allow him in his house. This is Dominic's house. You invite him to it.
No, this is Rey Mysterio's parents' house.
Yeah, and he wanted to visit them. He did nothing wrong.
Yeah, And then Ray ruined Dominic's and Rhea's Valentine's Day.
Shame on you, Ray.
And then Dominic told his mother to shut up, and then Ray hit Dominic.
Shameful.
Even at WrestleMania, Ray hit Dominic with the belt, and Michael Cole was saying, "Oh yeah."
Shameful.
Ugh. And Michael Cole exclusive to Raw. He still can't catch a break from Dominic in the Judgment Day.
He shouldn't. This is where he belongs. For disrespecting the GOAT.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, Rey Mysterio, Dominic. I thought they deserved this. They had a year-long
Yeah, they had a fantastic feud. Well, joking aside, they had a really good feud.
Yeah, where Ray finally hit Dominic, where Ray finally reaches breaking point in Las Vegas on SmackDown right before Mania 39. And the crowd erupted when Ray hit Dominic, and that crowd went crazy. Then Rey Mysterio in the Hall of Fame. Then Ray and Dominic at WrestleMania. And then post-Mania, even. LWO briefly feuding with Judgment Day briefly. And then kind of bleeding with Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio a little bit. And then the Judgment Day versus Cody and company with Seth, Jay, and Sammy. Now, I know those guys fought each other on Raw, rinse and repeat every single week in late 2023 on Raw. I know whether it was a tag team match or any combination of a tag team match with those people.
It became a meme at this point.
It was so much every week, bro.
And then you hear the opening segment, Cody Rhodes, 2 minutes into his promo.
The Judgment Day, their music hit, and they interrupt.
Yeah.
Or anytime anyone associated with Cody, Judgment Day music, and their music hits.
At this way, I could have taken a nap, and the Judgment Day would have interrupted me.
Yeah, literally. But despite their rinse and repeat every single week, and you get like a main event every week on Raw. At the time, 6-man tag with Judgment Day versus Cody, Sammy, and Jay, or any combination.
Yeah. The matches, I would say, though, the matches they always delivered.
Yeah, despite the rinse and repeat with all those guys, their matches, not one of them missed. They always delivered on each match. It was all hits and no misses, in my opinion.
Exactly.
In their War Games match was pretty good too, involving Randy Orton as well. Kevin, the Pittsburgh payback match with the Judgment Day winning the tag titles was good. Like I said, War Games is pretty good. Cody Rhodes and Jamie Priest at Crown Jewel was good. Despite their rinse and repeat matches, their matches always delivered every single time. So, what are your thoughts on these rivalries? Do you think they deserve this win?
Yeah, I would say the winner most likely would be Cody and Rollins KO Zayn against Judgment Day. Ray and Dominic also deserves a shout out. Brock Lesnar and Cody, it's kind of 50-50.
There was no explanation.
Although basically this feud legitimized Cody more, with him beating Lesnar at SummerSlam and basically they had 3 matches, Cody winning 2 of them.
And at SummerSlam in Detroit in 2023, Brock not only Cody beating Brock, but Lesnar pretty much giving the rub to Cody and giving him the nod. And you rarely see Lesnar like give his hand and shake, and then usually handshake and F5, but no.
Yeah.
Cody earned Brock's respect.
Yeah. Yeah, Ricochet and Logan Paul.
And getting the rub from Brock and Brock giving the nod to Cody.
Yeah, Logan and Ricochet, solid.
Yeah. And dated all the way back to the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble where they went viral when they cross-bodied each other.
Yeah.
And that escorted battle. Then they wrestled at Money in the Bank where Ricochet did some Spanish flag dance. No tables broke. It was like almost dot. Like a risky move spot. Ricochet did some Spanish fly, or Logan Paul did. It was crazy. Then they wrestled at SummerSlam. They had Ricochet's wife, Samantha Irvine, involved, and Logan Paul cheated, by the way, with the brass knucks at SummerSlam.
He won fair and square. He won via punch.
Logan Paul needed the brass knuckles to do it.
He won with the power of the punch. Clean.
And then you had Samantha Irvine, Ricochet's beautiful wife, involved, where Logan Paul said his wife will have no choice but to call me the winner. And yes, Ricochet loves his wife. Ricochet is not a cock.
He lost in front of his own wife against a celebrity.
I know you like Ricochet. There's no shame on him allowed, bro.
How do you lose to a celebrity in front of your wife?
He's not a cock, bro. He loves his wife.
Shame on you. Shame on Ricochet.
Oh, God. He's trying to eliminate his problems with Rhea Ripley and Gunther with his wife, Samantha Irvine. And Corey Graves and LA Knight and Shanky. Then Shanky's released. I think we know the reason why.
See you.
Oh, man. But I think Judgment Day feuding with Cody and company and then Ray and Dominic, I think they deserved winning rivalry of the year. They had a year almost feuding for a calendar year. And they had a good culmination payoff with a big payoff match. And such. So, and that's all I got to say on that. What are your guys' quick thoughts on this before we wrap up and get the hell out of here?
Well, I got nothing else to say.
Yeah.
I think I need to say more.
Yeah, I'm all good. There's nothing else for me to say.
Alrighty. And that, folks, is all the categories, and that is all the categories for the 2023 FioriousNation Year-End Award Show. Guys, before we get the heck out of here, remember to hit the like button on the video. Subscribe to FioriousNation YouTube channel if you have not done so yet. It would be greatly appreciated. I highly recommend you subscribe to my channel. And hit the bell for all notifications too while you're at it. Instagram, Facebook. I do have TikTok, but I don't use a TikTok. I didn't mention TikTok with my TikTok social media in the beginning of this video, but though I do have TikTok, but I don't even use it yet. But I don't know. Maybe I'll add the TikTok link, but I am on Facebook, Instagram, and X though. Links in the description. Adam, Carl, Instagram and X, links in the description as well.
And Facebook.
And Facebook, yes. And Anthony's also on Facebook too, by the way. Don't be afraid to add. You can add us as a friend if you like. Don't be afraid to do so if you want to. And such. And also Anthony on Instagram as well. All social media links will be in the description as well, folks. Adam, Anthony, any parting words?
It was fantastic doing this show. I'd like to do more.
Absolutely.
I actually would like to do it on a full time in the future after I'm done work.
Absolutely. And like I said earlier in the video, New Year's resolution, I'd love to get. I have not done a YouTube video on this channel since April of 2023. I would love to get, starting this month, I would love to get back in the channel and actually like doing it, like actually, because I think this would be great. And it's a fun, great time to be a wrestling fan now with 2024. I think it's going to be a great year for wrestling, for WWE, AEW, wrestling as a whole. Or not even much in the 2024. That's already been crazy with a lot of free agents and such and such. Mercedes Moné possibly going to AEW, Naomi possibly back to WWE. We got the Royal Rumble. We got
WrestleMania.
Yep, WrestleMania. We got The Rock as well at day one.
We got Revolution, AEW Revolution in March. Greensboro Coliseum, Sting's retirement match.
We got Perth, Australia for the Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania 40. I really think WWE and AEW, wrestling as a whole, is going to have a great year for 2024. I do firmly believe it. And we're not even much in the 2024 yet, and it's already a crazy year for wrestling.
We're almost in the first week.
It's a fun time to be a wrestling fan, man. It's like you just feel like a kid again watching wrestling. Like wrestling's back. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. Absolutely. And one of my New Year's resolution, love to get this channel sometime this month, possibly soon as this week, get it back and running sometime this month. And yeah, I think it'll be great. Adam, you and I just, you know, do the shows. It'd just be great. We make a great duo anyways. You know?
Yeah.
So we'll see, but I think it'd be great though. But anyways, and also looking for recommendations to make the show better as well. So, but that's another time. Like I also update video. Like I said earlier in the video, update video on the channel. If it's not tonight before SmackDown or today before SmackDown, it'll be tomorrow sometime after work. It won't be in the morning because I got to get ready for work tomorrow, and I work tomorrow 7 to 3:30 in my area in New York. But just look out for that. And that I got nothing else to say, and that looks like a wrap there, folks. And thank you guys so much for joining me, Adam, Carl, Anthony Pagani. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you in the future for more content on Furious Nation. Thank you guys so much for joining and being here today. Love you all so much and appreciate every single one of you. And I will talk to you guys later. And Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year.